to run across some of the images in the thread, and it's just like, how can it's some people are just sick human beings and sick ass individuals, and their day will come. Simple as that. All right, let's see. I think we have everything we need. Okay, boom. The queen is in the building, man. Like it or not, it's about to go down. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me this morning for the pre-show. Okay, but like it or not, it's about to go down. Boom. Let's get the show started. Hey.
Work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. We're about to
work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not starts now.
Let me make sure that's the right microphone while I'm over here sipping my good tea. That was the same top I had on in the work that we're doing here. It's not going to stop commercial. This is the same top I had on.
And it's the other.
No, this time it's grown out.
no,
grown out.
I'm talking about the microphone. It's the microphone. It's giving it's giving Android right now.
Wait a minute, like it was last week. You missed last week.
Oh damn.
And here we are. Here is professional Mike. Hey guys, saying I had the same top on.
Still not.
No.
Still not the same one. No.
No.
I mean, we could rock with it. We could hear you.
I mean, we can hear you. Yeah. It's not that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The sultry sounds.
Yeah. It's giving like.
Here we are. We're with the actual mic. I apologize.
Okay.
Okay. Good, Mike. Okay. I was just saying that I have the same top on that I had in the commercial, but
was it the same one?
Out. I've grown out of the top. You see that? Yeah, that's third. That's third. But no, not this one. The one where we said, and the in the commercial I said, and the work that we're doing here is not going to stop. That commercial, that one. We grown. we grown. No more braces, as we said. That's why I said it needs to be a new, updated photo situation going on because ain't no braces as we can see.
The teeth is like just like there. They like, hey.
Okay. Every time they stop me in the street, Bubba. They be like, wow. Like, I remember when I was working at that job for about 2 months recently. The white girl that was in there, because the kids be like 21. They were like, oh my God, like you're how old? Wow. And I'm like, girl, chill, grown. And then they're like, gosh, your teeth are so white. And that's because when I had dental insurance, I had Medicaid back when I was in New York, right? Because, when you're 21, straight out of college, you ain't got no coin. All you got to do is say you homeless in New York back then. And they'd be like, bet, we're not going to give you a home, but we're going to make sure you can get those teeth clean. We're going to make sure. And they took out every tooth I had in my mouth. So the ones that you see here are the ones left behind. They gave me because it was Medicaid. They gave me a mad scientist, a man that was retired that would come into the office on Thursdays. Okay, a mad dentist. He would come into the office on Thursdays and start to work on people's teeth. And this man was just going crazy on me. He done drilled my lip. So I have a scar for life and 40 missing teeth in the back. But the front, as you can see, it's giving Trump checks. Remember when Nene said that? I got Trump checks.
Trump checks.
And I ain't talking about the little 1,600. No, this right here. I'm grateful because I had a black dentist that when I came here, a black dentist woman who was like, sis, we gonna get that. We're gonna get those together. And she did, and she gave me a payment plan that was like, God bless her. I don't know where she at in this world, but she gave me it could be illegal, but she gave me a really affordable payment plan. When she found out I was on doing television work, and she was like, baby, no.
Oh, that's good.
No, we're gonna get those together. So that's why, she got me the braces and all that. But that's that story. I apologize for just going in straight into that. Listen.
And before you go on, let me tell you, because I had this dentist, this African man, he was so fine. I'm like, let me go back so you can play in my mouth some more.
That's insane on Valentine's Day. Anywho, wait a minute.
Love you, back.
Intro. Welcome to Valentine's Day edition of Like It or Not. Wait, you're supposed to greet. Go ahead. We're gonna do this right. Go.
It's good afternoon.
It's not even the same. Just say good morning. It's good morning on the West Coast. So say good
morning. Okay. Good morning. Good
morning, and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
Yes. So the reason why I had woke up this morning and hair was a mess, right? And my hair is natural, whatever. It was a mess. And I said, you know what, I got time. I just cleaned up the bathroom. I got time. I said 11:30, gonna do some little spinning. Let me start doing some Let me start doing my hair right now. So I started doing my hair, so I'm gonna be done. But then my sister called me, and I was pouring into her like, love will come. But she was like, girl, speak to yourself. I'm good. And I was like, well, I need to talk to myself. Love will come. And it started slowing down on the hair process. And that's why I'm like, I said, I'm gonna do my hair for the show. So I did my hair for the show. And that's why I'm late. It ain't nothing. It wasn't I didn't have no task to do. I had nothing. I had nothing to do. That's the honest truth. I was like, I want to do my hair, and it got crazy. And I was like, oh Lord, it's getting crazy. But then I worked it out, and this is the result. So love will come as I'm newly single, and it's Valentine's Day, but I still feel love. And how y'all spending y'all Valentine's Day?
With y'all right here, not doing nothing because I'm saying
now?
It's lonely. This lonely people day. I want to say Valentine's Day so bad, but I'm not gonna be like that. But I'm gonna be here in the house and go over to the new place to try to get some stuff together. But yeah, that's it.
I can look because that's how Black folks do. They looking in the background looking different.
Yeah. Oh, this is the old house right now, but it's,
no, I know it don't look. It is not filled up.
It's like it used to be. You're right.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's Black folks and people business. So people get on FaceTime and look, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking behind you. But that's all right because God moved you into another place, right? You're not going in the streets, but you're going into another place.
Thank you,
come on now.
Come on, somebody. Thank you, somebody.
That's all right. That's all right. And love is, Ben, I know that you're married. God bless you. You have a partnership.
Yes.
So, and I know, I think the older you get, you realize Valentine's Day is really not what they're trying to make it to be. Because if you guys do not see on socials how they are really, baby, I used to say the propagandaed, but baby, the way that they are saying, like it's, how they prom posals, it's Valentine's Day posals or whatever you can call that. Valentine posals. But the people are on the internet. So my best friend was telling me about this because I haven't been on the internet for the week. But the people are on the internet and they're asking people to be their Valentines, which is so beautiful. They're asking people to be their Valentines. And as they're asking people to be their Valentine, they are giving them what you would give somebody on Valentine's Day. So what are you giving the person on Valentine's Day when you're asking them to be your Valentine on the 12th, the 10th, the 3rd, and you giving them flowers, chocolates? It's a whole hotel room set up. You flew them out in front of, to go stand in front of what's the tower? Is it the in Paris and
the Eiffel Tower.
I don't really care that much about France because they colonized my people and all that other stuff. Ooh. So, but I'm like, they over there doing all of that stuff and not for a proposal, like with a ring, trying to get married. This is literally what they are doing for
just for Valentine's,
for flowers and things like that. I mean, for Valentine's Day. And I think now I'm just like I said, I'm newly single, and you know, I'm one of the people who are single. I don't hate love. You know, the last time I was with a man, my man, look, a man, but the last time I was with my man, Ben, you was calling me and we was planning over to take over the world that day.
Oh, that was recent?
That was recent. So like I said, that was 2 weeks ago, and that same day, there is no, I'm gone.
It didn't work out.
Yeah. So going through a breakup, but this is not child Rebecca. Like, you got to go through your breakup. You got to deal with it. I love love. I think that everybody should experience it and does experience it in some form. You just lean into that love, whether it's from a family member, whether it's from a friend, whether it's from yourself. You lean into that love.
Amen.
Or the love of God.
I like that.
You know?
I like that, Becca.
Yeah, because I think a lot of years when the time comes by on this holiday, people tend to be like, look at what they don't have, and you got to really look at what you do have, right? It's just a day. The day's gonna pass, and all those places that have heavy Valentine's Day things, and they're gonna go on sale for 5 cents, 10 cents. Go ahead, grab some, take it to your house, and have a Valentine's Day for yourself, have a Valentine's Day for your friends, or something like that, or just celebrate the love that you have for whatever you got going on. I love my job. I love this. I love that. Just really, really do that. And it doesn't. I know people are online saying that's because you ain't got no man. No, I just had one.
No,
I feel more loved in now than I did in that relationship. So you know, just kind of just really focusing on yourself. But I ain't gonna lie, you know, I love being in a partnership with somebody when it comes to love. So I'm always rooting for that too. When I see two people together and they are in love, it always makes my heart bigger as well, and say I'm looking forward to when that is my time as well. So.
Yeah, and that's me. I'm a person that loves very hard and has a lot of love to give. So it's like when I feel like I can't give that love out, I think it affects me sometimes. But I've gotten to that point now where, like they said, everyone's saying in the chat, self-love is important. Giving love to your family, your loved ones, your best friends, to God it's important. And I've learned to handle that and deal with that. Like today, I'm like, I'm cool. Any other day, I think I would probably, or any other Valentine's Day, I probably would have been like, I wish I had somebody giving me flowers or candy or a kiss. But now I'm just like, you know what? I'm about to go get me some candy. I'm going to get me a heart-shaped pizza, and I'm going to get me a good weed-shaped blunt, and I'm going to be good. Happy Valentine's Day to me.
As you should. And you know, I can't go nowhere, do nothing. I've been in the house all this time working because ain't a coin in the bank right now. But I've been working, I've been in the house, but I was like, you know what? Since I'm not gonna go anywhere, I can't go anywhere. I'm just gonna really listen to some love songs and just reiterate those songs to me. I was just listening to and this is, I'm gonna say love songs, but God, I was listening to in a falsetto. But the part of the song that really, and mind you, this is not even like a Valentine's Day song. It just reminds me of Valentine's Day because that FAMU, they used to play it when we used to do Valentine's Day activities. And I didn't even know, like, now that I'm older, the man's like has a part in the song where he's gonna make her sing in the ooh, and then when she comes down at the bottom, he goes, okay, you can come back down. You can talk in this key right here. I said, now he said talk in this key right here. And he's doing that. He's doing the key. He said, you can talk in this key right here. He went from saying in a falsetto, ooh, ooh, baby. And then he comes down and says, you can talk in this key right here. I said, what? Brilliant. The dream.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was my album back in the day. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Love King. But with that being said, can't sing worth nothing to me, but has a million great songs. Songs are amazing. I love The Dream.
Yeah. And you know what? Amazing producer.
And I was saying, you know, is it that he can't sing, or is it that he has a interesting tone of voice? Because
he has a pre-auto tune. Like, I mean, he's good for what he did.
It's nasally. Like his first 2-3 albums, loved it. You know, he was around the time when it came out, it was amazing. It was perfect for what it was. But now at this point, it's like, you know, producing.
Does he have something new out?
You're producing. No, at this point, he's producing everybody now. He's done a lot of work with Beyonce as of hell, the last 2
I
albums.
mean, he's Beyonce. No, so from day one he was doing work. When he
Single
came out,
ladies,
he was already doing work with Beyonce. He is literally like the person that she goes to when they write. That is her person, and you would be so shocked that is the person that she goes to when they write.
Basically, he ain't got to work ever again in his life.
Ever again in his life. He writes a lot of people's songs. He's the one that did "I'ma Put You to Bed." Any song that you heard with it. There was a lot at the time.
Umbrella.
You know, that The Dream made that. And you got Kelly Rowland saying it in her music as well. Beyonce, you have that. It's The Dream. Yeah. It's The Dream. So yeah, you know, at this point, I saw him during the and then we'll get into some news after this, but I saw him during the Brandy and Monica concert. This is me trying to talk to y'all because I've been in the house for 2 weeks working on this new job, and I ain't talked to not a soul, not a body, and been going through the breakup at the same time. I ain't talked to a soul, not a body, not nothing. So yeah, I just really I love The Dream. Funny story, 2 funny stories. He opened for Brandy and Monica here in Atlanta, but at the second show in December. But I took my nephew to the store in Alpharetta to the mall and to shop because he did really good on something. I don't remember what it was, but he did really good. And I took him to the mall. Baby, I had a budget, and that boy came and told me, no, actually, it wasn't even because he did something good. They were picking on him for his sneakers at school, and his mom said she's not buying him any better sneakers. So I said, no, we're going to get him some good sneakers. They're not going to pick on him for his Asics or his, you know, Bobos. And so, but I had a budget in mind at the time because I said, baby, you can't go past $90. And then he's like, $90? I can't even get here for $90. And I was like, well, a shoe don't cost $9 expensive. Got there, everything was like 150, 100, whatever for his size shoe. And I saw a guy come in with the mask. I'm over here telling Melinda, I can't get that other shoe for him. I can't get. I'm gonna get to get one. This is us on the side. A guy comes in with the mask. He's walking past. I'm like, people just so close. It's COVID. Oh my God. And then he pulls down the mask and says, y'all don't have to worry about nothing. Baby, he pulls out $400 and gave it to me and said, get that boy the shoes that he needs.
No, for real?
It was The Dream. So shouts out to The Dream. And then he put the mask back up and walks away. And I'm just looking like, Melinda, that was The Dream.
I know you not. You lying. You my God, Becca.
She's like, girl, it is. But we're not going to act like, you know, oh my God, that's The Dream. We're just going to take the money. And then we took the money, but we made sure to buy the baby all the shoes that he wanted, and we were able to buy him 3 pairs of sneakers. And you know, he would thank us every day saying that and we got him the because he wanted the new, I guess, Mellows at the time. This was 2020, 2021. He wanted the new Mellows, and I was like, baby, I can't afford that. I can't. And it was like, I think it was the Artie and something Marty, whatever design on the shoe. And I couldn't afford it. I was like, no, I'm so sorry. And then that's when The Dream was like, hey, you can get him whatever he wants. And he gave us the money, and that was it. So anyways, that's my rant for this morning about The Dream. Shout out to The Dream. That was the whole...
And it's all about right place, right time, child. I'm trying to find this.
You know, right place, right time. You know who's always in the wrong? This administration. You know, the people in this administration are always wrong. But specifically this week, we saw Pam Bondi crashing out before our eyes. I know, Ben, you said you have a lot, on Pam Bondi, a lot of images that we can watch. Hopefully they don't shut us down. Because remember last week, baby, they shut us down. Camera and everything. The feds was watching.
So, which is funny, I was actually watching the stream in the car. Ben's stream was still going, and like I heard the whole conversation. Y'all was still going, but when you said that everything is shut down on your side, back, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
It was crazy because they shut you down, but not me down.
Absolutely. You know, they're always going to shut the smaller creator down. And
Always.
I don't consider myself a smaller creator, but they're going to shut the smaller creator down. I mean, for me, Ben,
You're more well known than me. All these years you've been on all them shows.
Okay, I have. And you know who recognized that too? Google. When I said, you know, you heard it right here. Google, who am I? It know who I am. It didn't recognize you, Ben. You're a little more vintage. But that
Wait a minute.
You are the GOAT. And that's why. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why. But Pam Bondi is not. Pam Bondi is a fish out of water. I know right now she is the attorney general in the Trump administration, if you guys do not know, but she's been at the center of the major controversy tied to the Epstein document releases, and every single thing that she's been saying has been in my mouth, Trump. I'm just kidding. And all of what we were seeing is somebody who is going to regret this down the line. We're going to have a Marjorie Taylor Greene moment with her. A lot of the people who have been in this administration have left to give apologies or write a book or give us a documentary. And Pam Bondi is going to be one of the ones that are on Netflix, sounding like Tyra Banks in this Netflix special that's coming up, sounding crazy. Okay, so let's start. I don't know where we're going to start, but excuse me. Let's start with, and mind you, the reports are that they have given these unredacted Epstein files, right? And who's unredacted in these Epstein files? Lots of the victims who people want to refer to as survivors, but victims and their full names and their addresses or their homes or personal information about them. But yet who is redacted? Donald Trump and friends. So how they search these files, strange. Where the file's been sitting, strange. How they have been constantly undermining everything that's been going on, the oversight of the committee, how Donald Trump and this whole damn administration just acts like nothing applies to them. But what I love about this is now people actually get to sit in front of her. She doesn't go to the camera in these instances or give these press releases. They are sitting in front of her and they are like, so you tell me what's up, huh? Tell me what's up, right? Because who's scared? Who gonna check me, boo? That's what they're saying to her, and she's shook. So let's take a listen. Let's take a look at some of these moments with Pam Bondi as they're calling her out on the floor.
Has arrested Don Lemon and Georgia Fort, and I might add that y'all actually had a judge that rejected y'all for trying to arrest Don Lemon before, just like the grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Kelly, just like a grand jury rejected y'all as it relates to Senator Slotkin, just like the case against Tish James was dismissed and the case against Mr. Comey was dismissed. I completely don't get how it is that you're sitting at the top of DOJ because you don't seem to be good at your job. You're spending more taxpayer resources.
And that's just a little bit of our good sis, Jasmine Crockett. She actually read Pam Bondi for filth, questioning her ability, like she did just now, but in more detail, to even do this job. Because, as you know, Representative Jasmine Crockett is a lawyer, and she was able to hit her back with, hey, do you even know what lawyers do, baby? Because, you know, as a lawyer, this is what we do. This is how we handle it. And here's what you did. And Pam Bondi's response, and a lot of the times, is, but Donald Trump, don't speak about Donald Trump that way. Don't speak about him in that way. You hear how they're talking about Donald Trump? They're talking. It's embarrassing. But anywho, you'll see
no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaiming my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock. Stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
time. Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
Secretary Lutnick's ties to Epstein when he chose him to lead the Department of Commerce. Was he aware?
Chris Malin was a Border Patrol agent.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude that the president, in fact, did know about his ties because he was the next door neighbor.
Shame on you.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You're
this
from
is
a
pathetic.
Shame
This
on
is pathetic, Mr. Chair. I am not asking trick questions here. The American people have a right to know the answers to this. These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell.
Ooh. Clear down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stupid ass. Ooh. Bruh.
She said, I'm Attorney General. I couldn't tell. Baby, the people need answers, but they are tired. Mind you, they haven't gotten a chance to be like, Pam Bondi, what's up? So this is a mix of give us the answers, but you raggedy heifer. They're able to really say whatever they need to say, but also discredit her, not in a way that isn't warranted, but absolutely warranted. The things that they're saying about her aren't true. Excuse me. The things that this administration considers her aren't true, but the things that the people are saying to her are absolutely true. Funny enough, Pam Bondi is the author of lies. Okay, for the face of this administration, she is the one that comes out and tells us not to believe what we seen. That's why we had those arrests of our beloved Georgia Fort, and then there's Don Lemon and the other people who were associated with the activists and all these other people. Have you guys? Side note: have you guys been seeing other people think that they can take over white people who are going to black churches? One of those being Jamal Bryant's churches, and going to tell everybody they're going to hell, and they're thinking
what?
They're thinking that they're saying that is actually equal to what happened at the church in St. Paul, and that is not. That is not. You got these people going into black churches and claiming that they're going to hell. Mind you, we had people who went to black churches, like Dylan Ruth, and went to the black church, prayed. They prayed over him. They did all the things, and then they shot him. I mean, then Dylan shot them, the black church up. So it's such a difference. You don't hear about people of black churches going into white churches and shooting them up. Those were activists that went into literally unveil the fact that the pastor is the field director for the St. Paul ICE office. That's why he was in that church on that day, because he was instructing folks on how to kill again, allegedly. And so the activists went there. And what did the journalists do? Follow the story.
Yep.
Investigative reporting, something that was breaking news, something that was specifically journalistic. And so what the people are doing as they're targeting black churches, black schools. We see a lot of that happen during this time. They'll call black schools and threaten bombing or threaten shooting it up. And you'll see some white people now, they're going into, and these are white evangelicals or whatever they want to call themselves. They're going into black churches and telling everybody that they're going to hell. And that is pretty dangerous. Just historically, what we know, white people, when they insert themselves in that type of way into those churches, what that ends up being. It's always written in discriminatory practices, racism, things to make the Black community feel like what they're doing is how they're worshiping or whatever, them just being Black is problematic. It's such a difference from what we saw in St. Paul, where the people that went there, the activists that went there, were just trying to call out the matter because people were dying in St. Paul. People are dying in St. Paul as a result of ICE agents being there at the hands of ICE agents. And that pastor who was supposed to be preaching about love and connection and unity under Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ does not separate. He loves us all, right? But and that we're not supposed to be discriminatory and we're not supposed to be racist. But the pastor that's preaching that allegedly to this church, and this ain't alleged, he's actually the field directing officer in St. Paul for the DHS ICE agents, which we had murders happen as a result of the DHS ICE agents over in St. Paul. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Here's the video. I guess if you do have sound, you can definitely play that. So this is about the person in church.
It's gonna destroy this church. He's gonna destroy this church. And if you're in it when he does, he'll destroy you with it. It's time to repent of your wicked ways. Race-baiting, stirring hatred among the children of God, people that would come to Christ and won't because you make his name a laughing stock of, you blaspheme the name of Jesus Christ with your harlotry, with your whorishness, your wickedness, your filthiness. Your prayers don't even reach the ceiling. You pray to demons. It's time to get right with God. The God of the Bible is going to destroy you unless you repent.
They are ignoring the hell out of him. Just walking right on past like he's not even there. But my thing is that at even Pastor Jamal Bryant's church, like, I don't know. I probably would have. I'm surprised that nobody came and rushed him and really rushed his ass out of there.
And that's why a lot of these churches do have, and sorry about that, Ben. A lot of these churches do have security, and some people feel away about them having security because it gives the vibes of Michael Todd. But it actually, we've seen with, I want to say it's William, not William McDowell, William Murphy, who has a church out here as well. Somebody ran on stage and ran while he was preaching and ran behind him, and his security came up and tackled old boy. They got video of that? They did. I remember somebody was trying to run up on Philip Mitchell in his church, and he was like, "Hey, bro, they got don't because you might get." He basically said you might get laid out doing all that. Like, don't come up on the stage. We see that because, and the reason why they do that, yes, they are actually celebrities in this day and age. It ain't only TD Jakes. You go viral in the internet streets, and people know what your church address is and all those things. You are now like a celebrity pastor. People can go there at any time. But again, we've seen a lot of the hate that happens in that, whether we like the pastors or not, they should be considered safe. They should be deemed safe. So that's why a lot of them do get protection while in the church, because churches at one point were a huge target. They were a huge target. And so, here's Jamal. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ben. I apologize.
No. We got his reply. Let's listen to his reply.
Evangelical nationalist pastor had the audacity, he and his wife, to get out of his car, as you just saw, and for propaganda and disturbance, filmed themselves coming into our church, using hate speech, condemning us with wrath, judgment, and correction completely out of order. And since you are against places of worship being disturbed, and this gentleman attempted to do it at a black church, I want to know, when is the arrest warrant? I don't know his name, but that picture should be clear enough for you to be able to track it down with the full spans of the FBI. Why didn't we have this same kind of calculated rage, outrage, and disturbance?
They cut him. I hate when they cut.
You'll trust like Revolt to do right, even though no, but you'll trust the Griot CNN on them to do right. And what they do is cut it off at the precious, like, baby, you should have cut that middle part out and gave us the meat, baby, because he was going to go into the juxtaposition of the matter, which is Pam Bondi and friends. You done went and took the people who were actually doing their jobs of the situation, people who literally were outing a pastor for being a part of murdering folks in that city. Okay, and investigative reporting was happening right there, and you thought, not my ICE agents. Okay, and you, Pam Bondi, Attorney General, right, of the United States, decided to put criminal charges, felony charges against the journalists. And we've heard them doing it with activists. No tea, no shade, but we've heard them doing that. But they've done this with the journalists. However, now these white folks think I can do it too, because they're in their head computing it as this is the same thing. I'm going to go to this black church. I'm going to go to this black church. And especially because Jamal Bryant has been somebody who has been outspoken, much as I don't really care for Jamal, but Jamal has been somebody who's been outspoken in his church when it comes to political issues. When it comes to political issues, especially around this area, Jamal Bryant has been somebody to speak on that. So of course they're going to target his church first. So going into his church and telling everybody they're going to hell, no way. Unlawful soliciting, citation. But we ain't seen nothing going on. What Jamal was about to say was, okay, here is an actual crime that is being committed. Since y'all want to go ahead and say that what happened in St. Paul was unlawful, do your job, Pam Bondi. Get the FBI, get the agents to pull up to this man's house overnight in his window, scare his family, scare his children at 3 a.m. in the morning, and arrest him. Officers. That part.
Now they'd be glad. Look, the churches I go to, see, God bless. I'm surprised that man made it out without being harmed. See, that's the grace of God that was covering him, because all the churches that I've been going to lately, everybody's packing. Everybody, the mother of the church, the first lady, the sound man, deacon got a gun, the pastor preaching with a gun. Look, old ladies who you don't think shoot be going to the gun ranges of these churches I be going to, man. So they better be glad. You come up in the wrong church like that, and you're gonna be carried out by 6. That's what I'm like. You can't run up on people like that. Now the protesters, the protesters who protested in Minneapolis, you know what I mean? That's a good cause. You still put yourself at risk anytime you protest. But I just know when you come into some black churches and you talking that nonsense like that, on what grounds? On what grounds? The activists in Minneapolis had grounds. Your pastor is a director in ICE. That's grounds for you to protest a pastor in his church. You pull up on a black church and say, just because what he say, they were preaching, what that white man said, he said they were preaching race or something like that. And so he feels like that's the justification. He better be glad he walked out of there alive. That's all I got to say.
Especially in the church in Atlanta, which, I can look at it, it's Jamal Bryant Church, but this is a church in Atlanta. Granted, like Rebecca said, William Murphy Church Dream Center, child, they don't play that in there. Because it's a younger crowd. Dream Center, child, everybody gonna rush that man. Okay, everybody.
He was coming up on the balcony. He was doing a little jog on the stage. Pastor was preaching, didn't really realize that, and he came. I don't know what he came to do, but he ain't make it. He didn't make it in the name of the Lord. But and here Jamal could have done the same thing, but it was like, let me go ahead and record this moment to show you what is the result of what Pam Bondi is doing and giving the right of way for these white evangelicals who there's no reason for. I didn't hear any reason why this man or pastor or person or whatever came into this church. It wasn't like, I'm calling you out right now, Jamal Bryant, for your past things that you've done with women in the church. It wasn't none of that. It was literally just
not you giving him the ground.
I'm always gonna have
not you giving him the proper grounds to go into church.
But yeah, I'm gonna be like Keisha, Felicia, Shonda, Rhonda. It wasn't none of that. It was literally just him going in there and being like, y'all going to hell. You going to hell. You going
to hell.
Look, if you're gonna protest Jamal Bryant, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
Just call out the names of the
protest him for being a womanizer. I don't know, former womanizer. Maybe he, God does change people's hearts. But my thing is, once a womanizer 95 times, you might as well be a womanizer 100. But that's not my business. I don't go to that man's church. Like I said, I don't have to like the pastors to definitely say protect them from these type of people. Because outside of what he's doing in his marital bedroom, he ain't supporting ICE. He's not supporting this administration. He actually is one of the first places he came on was in 2020, was where, on Like It or Not, as he began his journey in the political realm. Yeah, baby.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. And so we know that he has had a hand, of course, taking credit for the Target boycott, things of that sort. He's had a hand in a lot that's been going on here in Atlanta, especially on the political front. So I'm not going to play like he ain't been in it. He's been in it. He's been in the conversations. Right. He's been rallying around. He's becoming more of a prominent figure, like a Raphael Warnock, but not like a Raphael Warnock, because we know Raphael here is a pastor as well. Martin Luther King was a pastor. A lot of that we'll see here in the Atlanta area, that they'll become or go into the space of politics. So that's something that's normal here, normal all across the nation. But other than that, that's not an offense. What I just named to you was not an offense. What else? You just going into these places saying ERs. You must put back on the chains that we had on you 400 plus years ago. You cannot be in the house of the Lord worshiping the same God I worship. And because your people went on and confronted murderers at a church, I will now come and do Satan's work under the guise of fellowship and preaching the word of God, and tell y'all you going to hell with no reason except for we got to save this country, MAGA first. Pam Bondi gave me the right away. She gave me the pass.
I mean,
and here's the thing, like, even if go ahead, James.
No, go on. I say.
You about to say something crazy?
Yeah, because he could have went in there and said, "You are going to hell because y'all pastor went with Giselle on Real Housewives of Potomac, and he need to, just say something like that." But no,
that's right. But he didn't say that.
He didn't.
He didn't have a problem with Jamal Bryant's, alleged infidelity. I don't know nothing about the man's personal life. I'm just saying the alleged, all that stuff. He had no problem with that.
Because Monique read all the receipts for the with the phone number on.
Listen. It's for me and my stream. I'm like, but here's the thing though. But they got all that in it. Even if they, first of all, that white man didn't go in there for that reason, right? But even if he had gone in there for that reason, every one of these white evangelical pastors are still supporting Donald Trump, who is implicated in rape and murder in the Epstein files. What's up,
P. Dixon? You wouldn't know? I wish it was just the white ones. Okay.
Lord.
It's baby. And I'm just gonna go back to
send me a link. Oh gosh.
That man that was murdered. I did not like how he was murdered. I did not like the fact that he was murdered. Let's be clear. I always gotta say that. But that man that was murdered, where his wife is parading his whole business, the white man, and his wife is parading his whole business, and she's at the forefront of it. Yes. And Miss Erica's out here like he died. Yeah, it's crazy. But anywho, so many of your favorites who always say we don't like, come on, y'all. It's just because of what they believe. Look at because of what they believe, what it's resulted as since that day. All y'all came up at the woodworks like, man, I can't even support none of y'all because he died over. So y'all killed him over a difference of belief. Remember that? And then it came out that it was not even a difference of belief. It was the same side. It was the same side. But none of those people, Ty Tribbett, whom I loved, Ty Tribbett, Carl Lentz, who was my former pastor, who was I'm always involved with some drama. Carl Lentz, who was my former pastor of Hillsong, who was the forefront of the drama that happened at Hillsong. That was my pastor, Carl Lentz. But he came out and was like, for a difference of opinion. Now, Carl, you just came back. Okay, you just came back. You
just got back on the scene,
baby. Difference of opinion. And then so many other Black pastors and leaders began to follow suit. And then good brother Philip Mitchell went to the church and said, "This is not a Black church. This is not a Black church." And I loved me some Philip Mitchell. And there's no hate there, but sometimes I got to remove myself from people who are going to, especially in certain times, know that the message that is going to be preached is going to be one that I believe is ungodly. When we see ICE agents or people, let's go back to Charlie Kirk. When we see people that are sitting down and preaching for the possible murder of people because of what they look like, what they believe, what they follow, their sexual orientation, right? For people to not be a part of work, schooling, because of what they look like, what they believe, their sexual orientation. And if you're okay to get up on your pulpit and say things like, your Black child was not gunned down or arrested because he was Black. It's because he needs to learn authority when it comes to a white officer. And then proceed to tell a story, your own personal story of how a white officer bullied you, put a gun to you, and asked you why you was looking at him crazy, and said at that moment you realized that you just needed to stand in authority.
Hey, listen, Philip Mitchell is a plant. I'm sorry. I don't have any. I've listened to too many of his messages, and I see too many of the people who are supporting him. And I know this game long enough to know that there's a vested interest in ensuring that the Black church stays neutralized. But how do you neutralize the Black church when Black folks go to church all the time? Well, you give them a pastor who's going to sound like he's anointed, might actually have a little little bit of anointment in him, but he uses it to push you away from liberation and from justice. So that's who he is. That's what he does. And a lot of folks know it, except the people who go to his church every Sunday. They're going to stand by their man.
I did the whole video on this for Let's Be Clear. I did it. I broke it down. I even said, hey, I believe that he's called, but just because people are called to the pulpit don't mean that they're going to do right by it. And that's why I think that you no longer have, you're abusing the pulpit. You are literally abusing the calling, and now you're looking at it from, I think, a space of popularity and money. And besides that, I think, why does unity have to look like? Why does unity in Christianity have to look like Black folks bowing down, or Black folks accepting, or Black folks being quiet about what's going on? And right. But then you guys are the same people that will quote Martin Luther King, who was a reverend, will quote Martin Luther King, just that one little piece, every time his birthday rolled around, or because again, we have Black History Month this month, people just be like, we're not judging each other by the color of all the things. That's all y'all want to do, that little piece, that little part. But then you're not thinking about how this man was preaching, marching in the streets, actually actively calling out what was wrong. Discrimination is wrong. Racism is wrong. Prejudice is wrong. Bombing people's communities, shooting them down, sicking the dogs on them because of what they look like is wrong. He called it out in his messages. He called out, there's no need to go to your church and tell them that you in the middle of folks getting shot down. Tell your church people this ain't a black church. And it's crazy because, again, that day I was supposed to go to his church. I missed that message. That was the opening of his church. And I missed that message because I was driving around. And I couldn't make it into it because there was no parking. Parking situation was crazy. And, you know, if y'all invite me somewhere, ain't no parking, baby, I'm going to just take myself.
Turn around, go home.
Back home. Okay?
Always.
I'm going home. But, no, but I'm
Park
saying,
across
like,
the street.
Absolutely. Well, where they got food at if you got a coin? But no, seriously, that's exactly what I think is the problem when we're looking at how people are abusing the pulpit every day. It's abuse and it's misuse of the position, right? And what we see with the people in St. Paul, what we see, and this is not the first time, just because that St. Paul guy is a field agent for DHS, it is, yes, they want to go and call him out, but that is not a shocking, there's no shock value there. But you know why? Because as I've gotten to politics and 10 years ago, as we began to run these stories where it was just more than Trump having a wedgie, you started to understand, damn, the doctor that I got, you know, you're telling me that black people, I'm a different type of, they say in wording like, you know, you're not like them. Ooh. You're different. And when you start to hear that, you're like, wait a minute, baby, you coming to work with a little piece of the Klan's outfit?
Sure.
Like, what we doing here? And then you get back there, and then now they're having full political conversations where it's like, you'll see them mention Michelle, and they're like, ape, right in front of your face as they in your mouth, taking that cavity out. Or you'll see your friends at work start to be like, you know, I used to support like all that, but I don't support them going out and like fighting police officers. I think that's where we have to cross the line. Sis, I'm not crossing, baby, excuse me. Like, this is what this administration, but not only this administration, the churches. I went to a church where I told you about a friend of mine who is Haitian, who his wife is white. I went to that church long ago to visit. And the man started preaching a word that I was uncomfortable with. I had to get up and leave. I went to a church here. The main campus for Victory, not the one in Atlanta. That black man one time stopped the programming because the main pastor was preaching crazy. But the rhetoric that Haiti is going through what it's going through.
Oh, yeah.
Because they serve this and they do that and da-da-da-da. And of course I took that personally. They said it was, and they specifically said Haiti, not any other country in the Caribbean. They said Haiti, but they said, and then all of these African countries. Because that's the same rhetoric that MAGA gives all the time. You're not going to hear them say Jamaica, even though Jamaica is also one of the, you know, on some of the lists restricted. You know, you're not going to hear them say Barbados. You're not going to hear them, but they are also restricted, just being black. But you're always going to hear the representation of the black immigrant outside of Africa being the Haitian.
Yeah.
And the way that they're going to speak about them is going to be, and the church speaks about them as they're just satanic or just this or just that, they're just the other. And when he said that, people started to adjust themselves at first. You know, when you in church, you just gotta, once you start
that awkward, that movement.
What'd he say? Then it started to be like, they start doing it. Then they just start saying, forget it, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because when you are a leader and you're preaching, and I know, listen, to each his own, I ain't going to that church no more. That was just it. But when you are a leader and you are preaching as a white man who said that because you have a little tan in your skin, you can preach about this. He said that on that day.
Wow. And
then they do this thing where like, we're going to do 21 days of prayer. We're going to meet at Stone Mountain and pray for America. No. What side you on? What clique you claim? Because that's going to be dependent if I'm praying with y'all or not.
Right. So what are y'all praying for?
Are you praying for people? Like that's why I say you got to be careful. Now, shout out to Smokey Norfolk. That's my virtual pastor. Yeah. Okay, Smokey Norfolk doesn't miss an opportunity. Yes, he does. He a little bit be like, you know what? Now, outside of the White House and the politics, instead of that, Jesus is the house we gonna serve it. He does stuff like that. But then he'll be like, what's happening there? We got it. When those people were being fired, Smokey Norfolk stopped his programming that he was gonna do for the following week and said, you know what? I'm giving money to the people that need money. We got a food drive coming up. Sign your name up if you've been fired, this and that. We'll make sure that you get money, and we'll help you enough to get you on your feet, all that kind of stuff. Because listen, if you got it, that's what you call, what is it, benevolence? There are churches that are asking for people's social media when it comes to benevolence. There are churches that are asking for like they want to see what you got going on. If you talking about Trump, if you talking about this, if you talking about that, if you out stacking up, or if you went on a little trip or whatever, they will not pay your light bill for you if you need it. There are churches that need to see all of your business, and if you didn't come to church twice that month, then they can't give you nothing. Those are the churches that you got to stay far away from. I'm not saying abuse the churches, but I remember when I was in need years and years ago, I needed something. I think it was like to pay a bill or something. And I went to, I want to say it was a local church. They gave me a box of brand new goods, not the ones that's about to be dated. They gave me a whole chicken, a box of brand new goods. And they paid my cell phone for 3 months.
Wow.
They paid they weren't gonna pay my rent, but they paid my cell phone. They paid, I didn't have rent at the time. It was just like little bills that I had, and they all that other stuff. And it was listen, all they said is, so your church doesn't help you? And I was just like, mind your business. You asking too much questions. Like, but try to, if you haven't talked to your church yet, you might want to just speak with them. And and then they sit you down, like, maybe your cell phone bill, you could take it down a bit here. Like, they talk to you about things, instead of saying, since Sister Azor, you have not been at church in a month. We will not be contributing to any needs that you have. We can't do that for you. And then with that being said, it's like, oh, that's the church you serve. And with the MAGA churches, it's, we seen that you said Obama on your socials. We're not giving you a thing.
We can't give you anything. And the bad part
that you had a rainbow flag, and it was not because he said he will not flood the earth again on your page. You can't get anything from me. So you speak another language outside of American English? Holy smokes! Wow, blasphemy! Have you heard of the Tower of Babylon? Have you heard? That's what they're doing.
When you say like a Christ on the cross,
Christ, baby. That's what you get, and that's what I said. There is no way that we could be living in this moment, in this lifetime right now, and not have a leader, a religious leader, and maybe not every service, because I couldn't do it every service. I'm gonna need I need to be challenged in the Word of God, because the way you challenge me in the Word of God is I'm gonna be able to tackle what's happening in the world. But when something serious is happening, people they just killed somebody less than 24 hours ago. We got church. And you think that I'm going to want to sit here and listen to you tell me about the goodness of Jesus in this lifetime without saying, God is so good. He is so good to us to give us another day to live another life when the enemy has taken a life. When the enemy takes control and becomes the judge, the juror, the murderer, all the things, and takes a life on behalf of this administration, on behalf of their alliance with who they serve, and which is Donald Trump, their golden calf. That is blasphemy. Calling that out. And I'm going to shout out again, Smokey Norfolk. He ain't afraid to bend it a little bit sideways, even a little backwards, okay? When it comes to talking to his congregation about what is happening in the world right now politically. You have to have that. You have to have that. Go ahead, Ben.
A lot of pastors are they had to play just a second or two of catch up, because for a long time pastors moved away from publicly preaching the liberation gospel. We've been warning about these Christian nationalists for years now. I would say almost 4 or 5 years ago, I had that video that went viral calling for help from the Black church because we saw it coming. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, it took a minute. It took a minute, but then they started showing up. And when they started showing up, they started showing up real good and start showing up real consistent, but not all of them. And the thing is that one thing about MAGA and these Christian nationalists is that they are all in formation. They are all preaching the same mess. They all preaching the same talking points. And while we have a good group, I'm not going to knock them now. There's a good representation of Black pastors who are actually out there doing the thing, calling out this white supremacy, calling out imperialism. Heck, you even got some calling out Zionism. So it's a breath of fresh air, but we still got so many more. It's just a handful of us, but we got so many more who ain't paying attention and don't want to preach about what's happening in the world. And they just want to shout and they just want to have the praise music and they just want to raise offerings and want to have conferences. They want to have meetings and they want to have dinners and cookouts and all that's good. But if you ain't matter of fact, let's go one step further. If you ain't talking about how this administration is trying to destroy democracy, you are betraying your congregation. You are literally betraying the word of God and your congregation because you're so busy in the church shouting and dancing and not even telling your people that they just took your vote. They just made it harder for every woman in this country to vote. They just made it harder for students all over this country to vote. And you're not talking about it. So we got some preachers that have stepped up. Jamal is one. John Howard Wesley out of Baltimore is another one. There's just a long list of pastors who are doing great, but there are thousands of other ones that ain't said nothing yet.
Yeah, and I think you do have to require your leader. If you are a Black person, an immigrant, because I say this because during the election season, propaganda moved fast.
Yes.
In the immigrant community.
Really fast.
Especially they're going to speak to men who are very, misogynistic and patriarchal and all that. So they're going to speak to those men first and they're going to put it in the space. Now we can't even control it. They go to the space of with the boomers who are on the boomer immigrants who are on WhatsApp, and all they will feed them is videos about why. And I had to get my mom together about why they need to vote for Donald Trump around that time. Baby, I went home. I heard it on her radio because Haitians gonna play a radio. They're gonna have it on the TV and they're gonna be looking at it on their phone. I don't know why they done gave us a third device for them to use. But growing up in a Haitian house, you're gonna have it on the TV, you're gonna have it on the radio, and now they got it on their phones. So my mom is scrolling. I hear it. I'm in the back. I hear her scrolling. I'm like, I hear her listening to this propaganda. Then I hear it also come in a reclam, which is like a commercial because all the Haitians got a little box that gives them Haitian television. I don't even know if it's legal, but I hear the commercial come up and it's like saying the same thing, something similar. Then a few hours later, I'm hearing on the radio. I sat my mama down. I said, no way. She's like, yeah, they're telling me that to vote for Donald Trump.
Wow.
But I'm not going to do it. Never and never. But I had to get her together. I said, tell everybody in your phone the same thing. Because the big pastor down in South Florida who was Haitian was also feeding them, hey, as a patriarchal person, a person again, misogyny, you know how they're going to do it. We can't have no vagina. In the White House.
The White House.
Leading it as a president? Absolutely not. Meanwhile, she was a whole vice president. No, we can't have her step up. We can't do none of it. We can't have it. I will say we cannot have it, no. And my mom and the little side of her that was, well, the men said, girl, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Baby, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Okay? Listen, they will literally lean on these people, and the ones that can vote, they will make sure that they vote for Donald Trump. I knew someone, probably dating him, I won't say, that went into the people booth, said he was going to vote for Kamala, all the things, and then came out, and it wasn't until a year later, not a year later, months later, that I realized you sound a little Trump-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was so funny because his country was one of the ones on the restricted list. He served for this country, and it turns out he ain't getting the penny. He thought he was getting money, all the things. And you start to realize they do infiltrate people by giving them some kind of incentive. If you vote for me, especially the immigrants and stuff, if you vote for me, this or that, this and that, this and that. You remember the Cubans and I would about
which all of them have been deported, by the way, that I heard.
In there and they're saying, I cannot believe Donald Trump deported me. I cannot believe it. Listen.
What they say, Rebecca said it
again.
Donald Trump deported me.
I am no longer in this country.
Listen, I've seen some folks. But quoi que Donald Trump tape fait bagay ça, l'aime-tu? Ouais que Donald Trump me dit que il tape by moon. Please stop.
Why are you like this, bro?
Donald fait ça vrai? Oh, Donald. Okay? We seen that. Hey, now hands on the head. Donald! Et pas Donald qui fait ça? Et pas Donald qui prend famille moins? Et pas Donald qui mène back? Oh, Jésus! Yes.
I hate you so much, man.
Wait. You gotta translate.
Right, because what the hell?
Like the halftime show. What did you just say?
I basically said, they just be screaming and saying, is that the same Donald I voted for? It ain't Donald. Not Donald. Not the one that said he was going to extend my time. Not the one that he said he's going to protect us. Not the one that said, yes, that same Donald. You should know because every single thing that he said he was going to do, he never did it. And he kept Haitians on the tip of his tongue when it came to negativity. Stop acting like this was not already. But when you are filled with misogyny, the enemy will look for a way in and they're going to grab onto the thing that is mutual amongst you guys. It is misogyny. It is you and that person having a penis. And that is enough for me to infiltrate you and say, you cannot vote for that woman. You can't.
And what's crazy on that part, Rebecca, is that there's so many women who also buy into that misogyny. It blows me away, but I'm finding more and more that a lot of times there's some women who internalize it so deeply that they can't see themselves having ever voted for a woman, and they can't see themselves like having this kind of authority. And I'm like, how do we go all the way back here? I was watching a video. If I could find it, I'll play it. But on one side, you had all of these, and I don't say this as an insult. I'm just trying to paint a picture because, I rock with them. All the blue hair, purple haired, white liberal women with tattoos. On the other side, you had all of these, Pentecostal dress wearing looking black women who came from the church. And they were having debate on issues that pertain to women. And the black women's side of the equation, they were repeating every misogynistic talking point so deeply internalized, I wanted to throw my computer out the window because I'm like, how, Sway? But it stems from exactly what you said, like, especially when you're coming from a religious background, when you find in your household and your man and your husband and your pastor are aligned with misogyny, then you, unless you're a mighty strong woman, you're going to find yourself going along with it.
Absolutely. That's why I said I had to catch my mama. Girl. Well, they said you cannot vote for a woman. No, girl, calm it down. When the Haitians start going, you ain't got it, sis. You can't find it. because it don't exist. It don't exist. So, anywho, Ben, you mentioned how a lot of that is instilled into who we are as people. Like I said, the enemy will find those little places that are not true or that are negative. And the enemy here is being Donald Trump. And that's how he went on in his campaign. He knew, if I start with anti-immigration, but if I start with, the fact that Haitians are a problem in the middle of nowhere. You went to Haitians, the place where, a town that Haitian grew. And of course, it's Springfield, Ohio. I mention this every opportunity I can get, and I will always do it. And JD Vance, who was also running for vice president at the time, who comes from that town, but was the mayor or something?
He was a senator from Ohio.
Yeah, from Ohio. So he did that because it gave him a boost. And he never followed up on the story because they found Fluffy, or whatever his name was, the little cat, in the basement. And that person who let that story run with the kitten, she said she kept calling his office and they never, mind you, this is documented. I got it in again on one of my Let's Be Clear, very, very, very descriptive stories on how we got here when it came to this administration and Donald Trump, because it didn't start with that. It's historically a thing here. That's why he made sure to start it. It already is in the heart of America, the anti-immigrant, but of course it's the anti-Black immigrant. And of course it is the Black immigrant that is hated the most, and that is the Haitian. And if we start with that, if we attack that, because Haitians here in America have been disrespected. When we talk about Guantanamo Bay, when we talk about the Haitians being on the bridge, when we talk about Haitians having AIDS, when we talk about us not being able to assimilate in a respectful manner, that's all this disinformation, misinformation, these lies that come from how America has always viewed Haitians, because one day we had audacity. That's it. And so Donald Trump made sure to tap into that. And so did JD Vance. And they do that even amongst the groups of people who are being oppressed by the very person. You know what? What do we have that's the same? We're men. And men who are immigrants are usually what? Anti-women doing anything in a predominant, in a strong position. In a position of power, no woman can do it. I'm glad that the men know now, right? They're learning. But in those countries, those are really the values that they have. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to just lie for mine, because I love mine. Mine, you know what I'm saying? When I see that red and blue flag, baby, you know what I'm saying? That's mine, right? But at the same time, we know we got our own issues as well. And that's one of them. And when this administration, or when people who are, in power want to abuse it, and when they want to have the alliance of other folks, they will speak to those parts of them. And that's why we saw a lot of that. That's why we had I will vote for Donald Trump. That's why we had all of that. That's why we had, blacks for Trump as well. Grift, they saw what happened with Diamond and Silk. They saw there was some money there. They saw what happened with Candace Owens. They saw what was happening with the man that was dropped. I can't even remember his name, but we covered him for a good minute too. A little boxer man, I guess. I don't know. Football player. I don't remember.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker.
All these people and all these people who actually tried to sell to us bipartisanship. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't working. It wasn't. Okay. So it wasn't working. So, so that's why I say, baby, choose a side, pick a side. Who is the clique that you claim, so I can know what to say next?
But you know what? The other part of the problem is that you look at the saturation that your mother and your father, for example, when it came to the propaganda, they were getting it on their TV.
Not my daddy, but my mama. So go ahead.
Okay. So your mom, right? She was getting it on the TV. She was just say, wait, let me make sure we clear. It wasn't my papa, but she was getting the propaganda on the TV, on the radio, and on her phone nonstop. And the question is like, where is the counter messaging, right? The biggest problem that we faced then is the same one we face right now with them passing the SAVE Act. Right? Where is the messaging? Where are the dollars? Where is the infrastructure? Where's the media infrastructure for the rest of us? I don't even want to say for the Democratic Party, because at this point we know that they ain't going to do it. They ain't never done it. And they just leave us out here while MAGA is pouring billions of dollars into propaganda and media. And so everywhere you go, somebody's getting paid some money to spread that propaganda. Meanwhile, most people on our side, the messaging that's coming out from our side, look at all the people on TikTok. Look at all, like everybody on TikTok and Instagram, they're not making money. You know, some of them might be making
not
money.
Anymore. They shut that down too. They shut it down most
recently. The vast majority of people who are trying to help get folks free and liberated and push back against bigotry, we're all out here doing this for free. Meanwhile, MAGA is just putting billions of dollars, and that's why their message won out in 2024.
Yeah. And the more you grift, though, that's it. But you got to know that when you're a black grifter, you will be thrown away. You have an expiration date. I mean, expiration date can sound crazy, but we saw what happened with Johnny Silk.
That's right.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
And then remember when what's his name? Clarence, is it Clarence? One of them done died, got COVID, and we ain't.
Oh, Herman Cain. I-99 Herman Cain.
Who is it?
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. Listen, Herman Cain died, and the administration said,
"Oh well."
They became an owl.
Yeah. Who was that?
Who?
Put you in the ground.
Somebody's put it in.
Imagine.
Go
ahead. Imagine dying for MAGA, and then they don't even remember who you are.
Who? Baby, the shucking and jiving, and it gave like how you look just like when we think about what the people who stay in the Kunta Hotel, how you look just like that.
Right.
That was crazy. Like, you really were you born for this role? It really gave like a Django. It gave like how you really looking like it was crazy. I don't know, but when you and I, it's just really clear. And mind you, if you don't, go with the Lord in physical, you'll go with the Lord in spiritual. You will hate your life. You will find yourself fighting online for your man, and you married.
Wait a minute. You gotta make that play. Hold on. Help us understand that one.
Put the microphone away, baby. You get online every day and like Erica Kirk.
Yes, she is. She really is expressing her true love, isn't she?
Crashing out as a mother and a wife about another man. She said, it's like, even if I'm not here anymore, like, I'm going to make sure that I speak for Charlie Kirk. Girl, is Erica speaking for Charlie Kirk?
Not at all.
And that's the reason why my good sister's on the mic for that man. And I'm like, girl, he gone. I'm so sorry. You wasn't even invited. You was outside the club. And then that is not how that lady came out.
When I tell you, he been playing this video.
Tell her get it out the floor. I told her get it out the door.
Don't me down. This is crazy.
When I tell
she did come up from the ground. But go ahead, Ben. I mean,
did she? No, because I know this is AI.
This is AI.
I'm about to say, when you said she came up from the ground, I'm like, wait.
No, I think there was one of the ones that she came from the back or the ground. She came from her entrance to the place was very
high energy. Like,
but she,
in other words, she, you know what? Let me stop. I ain't gonna put no conspiracy theories out here on y'all good channel. I'm just
look, man, look. Come on, wait. First of all, Rebecca, I'm not gonna disagree with you because what you're saying is true. But let's be real. Candace Owens got a longer relationship with Charlie Kirk. Erica did.
But no, you're not disagreeing with me. But that's somebody's husband, girl. And you online crying about somebody's husband. I don't care how long the relationship was. You looking crazy. You look like her being a black woman. We don't even see your own husband. Where he at? Are you like just all this time you be on the mic about? All this time you be on the mic about this man.
Ooh.
Where are your children? Where is your scooter?
Where is Rebecca?
I miss.
You don't get. I hate you so much.
It's Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Because I've been saying that damn lie for the past 2 or 3 days. Where is your scooter?
Oh
no,
man!
Because seriously,
Look.
I think that this is, and this is no shade, but this is. I'm not trying to be on any one of their side, but I get what you're saying too, Ben. She does have a longer relationship, and of course, she wants to talk about what she knows and make sure that his legacy is kept intact or whatever the case may be. But that's girl. If you will sleep on him, we know. It's like, girl, you crying over that man. What about you up at night around 11 o'clock talking to us? Where's your husband?
Listen. I think Candace realizes that she is living in the middle of the beast. She married into the beast. Let's just be real. Her husband from the UK, she married into something that's really ugly. And so for her, she's like, I'm just gonna speak my truth.
Oh, her husband is from the UK?
Yeah, her husband is whiter than Charlie Kirk.
Let's go take a look.
Yes, please, because I thought he was. I figured he couldn't have been a black man though.
No, he's not black. I knew he wasn't black, but yeah, she has a white husband. She has children. That's my thing. I don't like when people, bring children into this world, and it's like Charlie Kirk and his wife, right? There are children that's seen and will never forget what happened. If it is the way that they said it was set up, whatever. But why? You're bringing these children in, they're props, and now they're a part of these innocent kids that don't know nothing. They're a part of this mess and this circus. And lady, can you go and give the time that you're giving online? But I know it's paying her. It's paying her money that she's not getting anymore from what she used to do. So the more she talks about Charlie Kirk and crashes out about him and allows people to put the rhetoric out that is her man, that was her man. Even the video, the montage that she did with him. Like, why was he all up in the neck?
It's giving scandal. It's giving Shonda Rhimes.
Yes, it was. And I'm just like, so I want her to stand. I want her to stand up and walk away from this while she can. But I don't think. I think that, like I said, the relationship is more deeper. But you're messing with a woman that has become triple times as powerful as she was just being the wife of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, so, no, I got to disagree with you. I got to disagree with you now because Erica Kirk ain't nobody. Erica Kirk ain't nobody. Because listen, how do you when you manage to take the goodwill of America, who would we're gonna love on you because you're a widow, and you go from that to everybody just basically seeing you as nothing more than this. She ain't nobody. She got Turning Point USA, but Turning Point USA is dying. It's going to die out. Her time has come to an end. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If I just appreciate authenticity, and she might be being authentically trifling and hurt, but she's being authentic here because she's like, wait a minute. I believe she genuinely believes that that Erica Kirk has something to do with Charlie Kirk getting killed. Yeah, and she gonna ride that thing all the way out until she gets some catharsis. So I mean, this is the realest I think this Candace Owens has ever been in her life.
I'm looking at her husband and I don't see it. I'm looking at Candace Owens' husband. I'm not seeing it. But again, social media, I can't say that because social media will make you look at people and be like, oh, their relationship ain't good and they best of friends. So I won't take that. But she, I don't really know. Maybe he's in the UK while she's doing all this. I'm just not sure. But Ben, I agree with you. But I'm saying, like, when I say powerful, I mean, like, how powerful this administration is in that manner. Now she has ties and she can do whatever she wants. Like, she can, like, all the things that she wanted to do to be the head of. Like, how do you automatically sit in the seat of your deceased husband or allow the vice president of the United States to sit in the seat of your deceased husband the next day?
That looks about right.
Programming.
And
she didn't even really. How long was she married to? She knew Charlie Kirk every bit of 5 years, maybe total. Somebody do the math on the internet. Like they got married. And don't get me wrong. Like, I met my wife and I married her after 6 months, but that's different because we've been together 15, 16 years now.
Wow!
But she didn't really know.
Right?
Yeah. She didn't really know Charlie Kirk and all the stuff that's coming out about her and how she was a part of Donald Trump's cabal. She was assigned to Charlie Kirk. Like the way her behavior, let me put up the right person, because I don't want people to think I'm talking about Candace, even though I ain't got no love for Candace. Yeah, I am enjoying. I'm enjoying seeing her tear their world apart. But when you see the behavior of Erica Kirk after the fact, it really just says to me that it was all business. It was all a part of the plan. Whether she had anything to do with him getting assassinated or not, she's cashing in on it like she did. And I think Candace Owens is saying, nah, I knew Charlie Kirk back when. Maybe they did have a thing together. Maybe she actually loved the boy. And she's saying, nah, you ain't gonna go out like this. And you gotta hear the clip where she clowned the halftime show. That's what I gotta hear. When you get a chance, she read them for filth and put all their business out there. So either way it go, I'm enjoying the shot in Florida.
Okay.
No, I know you have to leave, Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love y'all. I appreciate it. This is a good show. I love being here with you guys. I want to be here longer, but I need to go take care of some things.
Go ahead. We got a couple more minutes. I wanted to love you, mean it.
All right, bro.
Go ahead and since we were talking about relationships, because kind of we're talking about relationships, it's Valentine's Day. You know, Candace her stuff is blowing up, our relationships as Black people with the church. But I want to go back to Pam Bondi, the Epstein files. It's come out. A lot of people, the victims, have spoken. There was somebody I went to school with. Remind you, really? I grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida, and I was not too far from Mar-a-Lago. I always went to the island of Palm Beach to go to the beach. I had experienced one of my racist experiences over there on the Palm Beach Island, where I was 17 years old, and a cop gave me a ticket, and he gave it for like something to be on my record forever. I had a lawyer try to take that off for me when I was 17, and all I was doing was driving a vehicle with a learner's permit. So, and he put on my record like a criminal charge.
Oh,
and
wow.
The lawyer was like, my mom said, don't you ever go back to that island again. And well, Epstein Island, where this is somebody that, again, I grew up with, I went to high school with. Her name is Sabrina. And here's her account as one of the victims of Epstein, but also somebody who I think tried to get her power back as well. But she talks about this, and you guys can listen and take a listen.
Actually, you got to give me one more second, Rebecca. It froze up on me.
Okay, no problem. And
it's a little bit more. 3, 2. All right, here we go.
Threatened. In America, we have an outrage problem where millions of you are taking to social media to express how unsatisfied you are with Bad Bunny's halftime Super Bowl performance, how un-American he is. And then all these real issues of the world burning around us are just kind of cast aside and go unnoticed. The Epstein files have revealed some deep-rooted corruption and exploitation, but where's your outcry? What are you doing to help this country heal from such injustice? It's going to take a lot more than just running to social media and making a post. You're going to have to make those phone calls to the DOJ, make the phone calls to Congress. It's not hard. You spent more time on that post about Bad Bunny than you do for something that one day, if it was your child being molested and raped and sex trafficked, this is making it okay. If silence is only perpetuating more silence, it's only showing that the victims, like, where we spoke out, and for what? To continue to be re-traumatized and exploited and judged and criticized and threatened. This is more than a freaking Super Bowl performance. There needs to be more done, and it's not going to happen alone. It's not going to happen with all of us standing together, united as victims. There needs to be a public outcry, and it needs to be consistent. It can't just be washed over with a Super Bowl performance and any of the other distractions that they're about to throw at us, because it's coming and it's going to happen. Please, 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 if you want to do something meaningful, channel all of that frustration with the world into something that you can actually do something about, something that's going to affect our children.
So she said 22 years ago, I was molested by Epstein. Next time around, I robbed him. At that time, it was the only way I could reclaim a sense of control of that situation. Yes, I was in the files, and no, they did not redact my name. They have since taken it down to God knows what else. But this is methodical. This was the plan. 22 years later, now everyone knows the truth, but you're complaining about Bad Bunny. Fight injustice and corruption in our government, not one another, about a Super Bowl halftime show. So that's basically what she was doing. She put the number of the DOJ on there and to call it and to demand accountability. And she said the victims bore the burden of the proof, the scrutiny, the judgment, the threats, the fear. Please let it amount to something. Don't let meaningless distractions like the halftime show, like she said in this. But this is somebody I went to school with, y'all. I was a freshman at the time, or a sophomore, and she was a senior, I want to say. But this is somebody I went to school with, and so she wasn't my friend, but she's somebody I went to school with. So knowing that, how connected, and we were young. Epstein has always been old. Donald Trump has been old my whole entire damn life. And to, you know, and I went to school around white kids who were well off, and not knowing where their children were going or where their parents were doing or what their parents were bringing their children around in these moments where, you know, all of that, this is what's happening. And for her name to have been out there, and, you know, all of this kind of stuff and information to be out there, imagine the ones that didn't want their names out there, who don't have to have this kind of confidence or power to take back, or didn't get the opportunity to take their confidence back, or the ones who didn't make it, the ones who did not make it to tell their stories. And this administration decided to protect the names of Donald Trump's and friends, but to put the names of the victims out.
Yeah. Rebecca, I've been getting the news secondhand. I haven't been going to the actual DOJ and reading the files myself, because there's 3 million of them. But just the stuff that has been reported on, and the stuff that's been brought out, the pictures and the videos and the audio. There was one particular audio of a child who was screaming at the top of their lungs, "I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid."
Yeah.
I don't know that we are emotionally prepared for the type of evil that we're really dealing with, but we're going to have to be. And if we don't absorb this outrage and it's okay. You know what? It's one of these things we almost have to allow ourselves, those of us who are strong enough, allow ourselves to feel the trauma and act on it and act accordingly. Because if we don't, then this moment is going to pass, and the men who are still free to this day, who's been arrested, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person in jail for any of this, and she could go to hell as far as I'm concerned. Like, they need.
Is that how you pronounce her name? Because I've been saying Ghislaine, because that's a Haitian name.
It's all kind of. I've heard 3 different pronunciations, so I honestly don't know. But Maxwell, that heifer, she deserves to be under. She deserves to be under the jail. But it's crazy that she's the only person who's been arrested and charged and found guilty and sent to prison. Meanwhile, the men who actually did, and we know the names of all the men, 6 million documents. They got the names. They've been doing investigation for years. And what this shows us, and this is the scariest part about this, is that these men, one, they knew that Jeffrey Epstein was getting compromised information, blackmail information on them. They knew, right? You can see the picture of Prince Andrew as he was laying on top of that little girl.
Oof.
And he's looking dead at the camera. He's looking dead at the camera.
Because the documentation is the point, like the power.
Exactly
the abuse of the power. That's why you see that with Diddy as well, on a smaller level, but a huge level. You hear all of these stories, but these people are empowered. They got money. They want to assert themselves in different communities and do these things. I think that the extremities are what they want to show, and touching children and getting away with it. And
the little
like the
little
Peter
girl,
Thomas Roth, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
the little girl who, well, this is my, and I'll give it right back to you, right? Like if you realize that these men are right now experiencing how powerful they really are. That's the thing. Like while all of us in the streets are outraged and screaming, they're still protected. Like even after he's dead and gone, Epstein, his power to protect these men is still on display.
Yeah.
Like literally. Like there's nobody, not the Department of Justice, and forget about Donald Trump's administrations, because we know they are protecting Donald Trump. But even the last administration and the administration before that, and the administration, this goes all the way back to George W. Bush, right? You're talking about 2006, 2007, right? Like these men have been protected for 30 something years around this stuff, and they're still being protected today. So the real question is where is the real power? And unfortunately, they're experiencing and seeing that they have this much power. They got away with it, and they're still getting away with it, even though their names are in these documents, and the government got the names, and the Congress people got the names, but not a thing has been done about it. That's crazy.
And it's meant to be that way. Donald Trump, who is a felon of a president, felon, period. And this is outside of the Epstein files. He has so many different charges against him. He's been accused of other things. People have young kids, and at the time when they were young, people have, said that they've touched him, or they've touched him by force, but he has touched them in their younger ages. In the files, I believe that there's things that mention what he's done with the children, mention abortions, mention emails going back and forth. That was one thing I did not get.
Come on.
You literally are emailing. And again, this is another assertion of power. This is how they right. Like you just are hiding in plain sight. You think that you're never going to get caught. You think you are emailing every single person.
Detailed.
Detailed. It's all there. And you save these documents. They're all available.
So that's the thing. And maybe, I don't know. I think Americans are afraid of letting that switch finally switch in our brains, because everybody knows that there's a switch in every one of our brains where we go from being normal to we go to picking up bats and pitchforks and knives and everything else, and we go meet them where they are and really protect our family. Like if any one of us, and I can't say that because there's parents in the Epstein files who actually delivered their children to these monsters. So I can't say every single one of us, but those of us who are actual human beings and actually love our children, had that been any of our children, we would stop at nothing to get retribution, no matter what it looks like, whether it be through justice or whether it be through slicing some throats on our own. And people are afraid of letting themselves go there. But what I'm telling y'all is if we don't allow ourselves to feel this anger and act on it in steps, right? Like we ain't got to shoot nobody yet. But what I'm saying is if we don't do everything else that we possibly can short of homicide, these fools are going to get even stronger.
Yeah. No, they already are in their lift. They're utilizing every single power that they've received, every single damn infinity stone that they're getting or they're hiding under. They are making sure that is, I'm telling you, I don't feel like any of them are sweating. Donald Trump wakes up every day and the Epstein files could be the least of his worries, because he knows that you got Pam Bondi who's going to just sit here and be like, you're talking about the president of the United States of America. And they're like, yes, here's his name. Here's what he said. Here's what he did. Like the president. You're saying the president did. You're saying that's and it's like right here he said and this is not alleged. This is proof. These are part of the files that were redacted. This is all of those things. This is Donald Trump is in them. Now, like I was saying, I have some products and you wouldn't think about that. But one face wash that's good to my skin, as you can see. But this is also like Haiti, being Haitian. Peter Thomas Roth. Would never think of the name. I never used this product until I started working at that retail store I was saying about. And they gave us a big bag of goodies, and this was one of them. And I only remember the name because I'm like, who is Peter Thomas Roth? I don't know, but why is this product so expensive? Think I ain't buy it. They gave it for free. And random, but he was one of the people in the files. He put out a statement, Peter Thomas Roth, and said, "Oh, disgusting. I didn't want to believe what I heard. I stuck up for him. All these things. And now I have to remove myself from Epstein and the people that are associated with it. And sorry to the victims." Mind you, somebody put underneath it an email that said, "Yeah, I'm going to get Peter to come talk to the girls and like show them some facial products," because it was literally like an assembly line of people. You got like to groom these girls. And Peter Thomas Roth, who is a skincare professional, was being invited into the conversation to show the girls products. So I done threw that face wash away. It was good, but I threw it away. Because you wouldn't even know that the products you probably using, that's how much money these people have. They probably invested in or spoke with or pushed or whatever. All these people that we see that probably have high positions who probably wouldn't have got there without these people in power. They used them. These people were a part of Epstein's Island and things like that. He got people, okay, the girls gonna learn how to do their makeup. The girls gonna learn how to, wash themselves. The girls gonna learn how to talk, walk, do all this because we're gonna have this person come in. We're gonna have this person come in. And the people that are associated with them be like, hey, yo, back in the day, Epstein used to have craziest parties like they're doing for Diddy. Not knowing, hey, there's gonna be a documentary on this. And you gonna be in it saying, Diddy used to have the craziest parties. And it was children at them parties.
Children. And so here's the thing, like I'm getting ready to say something that's crazy. The raping of the children wasn't even the craziest part of the Epstein files.
Crazy.
They were killing. They were sacrificing. They were cannibalizing. This dude got how many gallons, hundreds of gallons of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, the one thing that can melt the entire human body. Epstein bought industrial side. He got a whole tanker truck full of sulfuric acid. It's crazy that I have to say that the raping of children was not the craziest things that these demons were doing. And I'm going to be honest with you, y'all. Like, I'm feeling like this man in the airport. And I know everybody's like, we're all are on that edge and we don't really know what to do or how do we, but if we don't do something, they get even stronger. And it just, really put it in perspective. We are living in a hell where predator pedophiles who eat children have imprisoned all of us across this globe to serve them financially as economic slaves. And it's almost like we feel like there's nothing we can do about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you really put it in the context of what's actually going on, it's like, well, why would we even care? Why would we care about just trying to act and live normally in a society that is this evil?
Play that video though. I didn't get a chance to see this, but I just watching the energy in it, and this said the day the Epstein files have been reported, and they're at the airport. Let's take a listen.
Epstein files have been released. All of y'all are acting fucking normal. Epstein files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal. They can laugh. but y'all can Google it. They can laugh, but y'all can Google it. The Epstein files have been released, and all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal.
It really constipated. That man done lost their goddamn mind.
Airport is acting normal.
Everybody's calling.
No, you shut the fuck up.
Wait, don't say nothing.
Because the Epstein files, what I'm reading, and everybody in this room can read. If you go to Google right now, everybody in this room can read. They are eating babies. They are trafficking children. And if you think for a second any fucking thing in your life matters, you are on the fucking wrong side of history. You are on the fucking wrong side of history. It don't matter about the flight. It don't matter about who in this fucking airport. It don't matter about this nigga walking past me right now. I don't.
What hurts me when like we see all these people are videotaping, and I can guarantee you they have no clue what he's talking about. The woman that's holding that's phone, the woman that responded, because I've been in the airport where moments like this have happened, not necessarily this, but where moments where people are like saying things like, are you guys serious? Like, and somebody makes a joke like, yeah, we all know, da, 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 and think it's funny. No, this is not a funny matter. This is a life. This is an American crisis. This situation happened, and you guys are not outraged that this monster did what he did. Are you guys gonna wait for Netflix to drop a movie, a documentary, for them to romanticize the murderer that Epstein is, or the disgusting person that Epstein is, before you guys say something? Is that what you're gonna do? Because we are in the active moment of finding out this information, and y'all want to act like and then he knows he doesn't have his phone out. He's not looking to go viral on his own page. He's literally in the moment of what I just read is insane. They were eating children. They were killing folks. They were doing all of this. And this is according to these files. And nobody is outraged in this country. This airport should be shut down. People should be in the streets.
That's right.
And of course, no, this is content for my page. Just crazy man in the airport who was outraged for no damn reason.
And they talk about, we need to call security. We need to call security. No, y'all need to listen to the man. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to listen to the man, because that is the appropriate response. That when you discover that your literal planet, your nation, your bosses, let's just be real, because everybody works for a subsidiary of at least maybe about 12 companies that run everything in this nation. Most of our jobs can be traced back to about 12 corporations, and every one of those corporations has somebody connected to this pedophile ring. You are making money and paying taxes to people who are using that wealth to run a global pedophile ring for the last 3-4 decades. And we just go along like everything is, we just go to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. We just watch the Super Bowl. We just watch it. And I understand most people are in this conundrum. Well, what do we do? First thing I think everyone needs to do is kind of deal with the fact that it's not supposed to be normal. You should not seek normalcy in this country anymore. Mm-hmm. You should not seek to be like, if you go to a now brunch, we go concert, right? You going out like things are normal. The first thing you got to do is stop and tell yourself it is not normal, and I cannot participate in this system at this level. I'm not telling you got to go out and Luigi Maggione somebody, but I'm saying you got to stop going on your day to day like everything is peachy keen and honky dory, because it's not, because we are literally living in hell and we're paying taxes to the demons.
Nobody cares. They walking around. Let me just get on my next flight. Let me just do whatever. And I can understand the outrage. But again, I haven't been working and or trying to hold on to this job. And these moments, I've seen tidbits, but I have not gone through the files. And just knowing that I've been shut out to the world or to what's been going on, and coming here and seeing what's going on, or hearing what's going on and watching his reaction. Now let's go ahead and talk about his reaction, Pam Bondi's reaction. This man is literally telling you guys should care. Pam Bondi is telling you guys, but it's Donald Trump.
The Dow was 550,000. The Dow.
Ain't that crazy? Why? What? For what? You got more clips about her? Because I want to run one more story before we get out of here. But you got more clips on as it relates to her?
I'd have to find some more if you want some more. I just put her up there because you mentioned her, but we can move to the next one.
Okay, because I actually wanted to go to the next story that I wanted to discuss. And that, hold on, let me send this. My niece sent me Happy Valentine's Day because that's the only people who love me in the world. Go ahead. Let me write her back. The one? That's what. Oh, actually, yeah, that's the story I wanted to go over. So, a relationship between
Cardi.
A relationship between a Haitian and their flag is stronger than the little wristband you get at the club. And I love that for me. A relationship between any person and their flag. We are all nationalists in some kind of way. We gonna rock whatever country we come from. It's colors. Now, I wouldn't do America. Back in the day, I used to wear my little American flag. I have a cute Jimi Hendrix shirt that has the American flag on it because I love the way he played that, the Star Spangled Banner on his guitar. In a way, it was almost like he was resisting what was happening. The current at that time, they had problems. The problems just be coming for people. But anywho, I said that to say she was speaking to her crowd, and if you swipe, if you go to the media, I don't know, is that what I sent you? Yeah. Oh, it got a swipe option. That's so cute. The next one. So play this video. This is going to be her. Run it back. She's talking to her audience.
If I come in here, we're gonna jump their asses. Bitch, I got some bear mace in the back. They took my fingers, bitch. Let's go.
So here she said, if ICE comes into the room, we're gonna jump them. She got mace in the back, right? So ICE decided to respond to her and says, as long as she doesn't drug and rob, our agents will consider that an improvement over her past behavior. As you know, Cardi B has discussed that she's
come from a mighty long way. She come from a mighty long way.
She came a mighty long way. And so she responds to them in the next, I think it's the latest. Well, she responded to them and said they need to be worried about what they got going on and the Epstein files and all that other stuff instead of responding to her and what she's saying about ICE. And that's why I'm like, this administration is a joke. It's, to me, it's reminiscent of Pam Bondi yelling, but Donald Trump is literally. You saying that you responding to Cardi B is ridiculous when Epstein files just came out and y'all officers is killing folks left and right. What? Hello. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know where this country is going, but when this administration, they're going rogue. You got people ain't answering nobody else's calls about their children dying at the hands of ICE and Donald Trump, and because it's Donald Trump in some kind of way, all the stuff, but y'all sitting here and responding to Cardi B saying, if ICE comes, we gonna jump them. Oh, here she goes. She said, if we talking drugs, let's talk about Epstein and friends drugging underage girls to rape them. Why I don't want to talk about the Epstein files? That's what Cardi said, and I can 100% agree. Why y'all don't want to talk?
Look at this ratio, though. I know this is a small thing, but look at the 693,000 likes to their little 191. Don't get me wrong, 191,000 is a lot, but they messed around and messed with their own person, and they shut up after that. They ain't say nothing else after that.
Yep, not a thing. Yeah. And this is why I believe we have to combat the same way, like, Cardi B may not speak politics no more because everybody don't want her to talk about politics and things of that sort. But to me, that's a political stance. You want your pastor to be able to do the same thing. What clique do you claim? Because I want to know if I'm going to Tupac you by saying F you in the clique you claim. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be on that spectrum. But we know Cardi is the one saying, yeah, come over here. She has a part in the set where she has all the Haitian flags. It's always gonna be my flag. But she has all the flags come out. It's kind of like what we saw at the Super Bowl in her tour. And that's a moment where she said, if ICE comes into the room, and she's speaking to her audience, because you got a lot of people who don't want to go out as immigrants or immigrant adjacent folks, because they're afraid that ICE will shut down any event, come into the room, get them, do whatever. So we know where she stands. We know where Kalani stands. We know where Shabuzi stands. We know where do you stand?
We know where Nicki Minaj stands.
Exactly. Very clear. We know where Nicki Minaj. We know where Snoop Dogg stands.
Mm-hmm.
Nelly. They get in the check. They go where the money reside. Where the money reside, where the money reside.
And see, that's the problem. And that's something that all of us poor people down here, working class folks, that's something we need to divorce ourselves. See, we ain't getting money like they getting it, right? That's their goal. But they make that our goal. A lot of us down here, we put up with this system. We think we're going to get ahead in this system. We think we're going to get a bag in this system. We think we're going to be successful in the system. And meanwhile, the price you got to pay to be successful is to literally sell yourself to a cabal of pedophiles and cannibals who eat your children and dissolve their bodies with sulfuric acid.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Nicki Minaj has just aligned herself with. And she's proud of that.
That is scary. The fact that we're talking about this, and it's like somebody said in the chat, why isn't it a news story that y'all saying that we was eating the cats and eating the dogs, they was eating the children.
Well, have you seen, really think about it, anybody who watches like local news or any, have you really seen coverage of the files, like talking about like for real though? Like
it hasn't been. There hasn't been headline news. There hasn't been breaking major stories. It hasn't been panels of conversations about what was in the files. Even the Pam Bondi moments are only going viral for the moments that, because our brains are tricked to grab the pieces of these stories, not the fact that he was eating kids and unaliving them removing the evidence or torturing them, whatever. Not that he was doing any of those things, but this funny moment of, and while it is agreeably necessary to show Pam Bondi crashing out, who is covering the pieces of what's in them files and making those parts go viral? That's why that man was in that airport doing what he was doing and screaming the way he was screaming, because it cannot only be a soundbite. How do we explain this to where are the parents of these kids who, what are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm. See, and the most addictive and deadly drug is the sense of normalcy. People will ignore anything just so that they can feel normal. And we are collectively as a nation, some of us are trying, a lot of folks are trying to put their energy into this. They're trying to put their thoughts into this. There's people, but it's not in the people with the power to actually do something about it. It's independent media. It's independent researchers. It's random TikTokers and Instagrammers and YouTubers who are throwing everything that they have into trying to wake up the consciousness of the American people around this matter. But when you're dealing and fighting against the opiate that is normalcy, because people want to feel like life is normal because everything else is too scary. Like it's and I can't front. I ain't going to stun on these people. Look, when I really finally realized what we were up against on this planet, like for real. Oh yeah, you saw me crash out, Rebecca. I had to take a whole couple of years off and just sit.
All of us.
Just
yeah, but think. I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's overwhelming, and I get it, but you got to start somewhere, because otherwise you will be going through this life clocking in and clocking out, watching TV, watching the Super Bowl, watching Real Housewives of whatever city is next, and the meanwhile you're supporting and propping up a system that would rape, torture, and dissolve your children after eating their bodies.
Mm-hmm. Go, like, how do you break down this type of conversation, or you break down what was in those files, and you still say you want to support the president? How do you do that? How do you find yourself in those files in a photographic manner, where you're caught on candid camera and you say, I was young? And I'm not talking about the children. I'm talking about men in their 20s, their 30s, who were going to these parties.
How and it's the last. This is the thing that people have to kind of register. I need folks to link what's going on in Gaza, what's going on in the Sudan, what's going on in the Congo, what's going on in Yemen,
in Haiti,
what's going on in Haiti, what's going on with the Epstein files. You have to link those things. You know, it's the fact that we don't feel anymore. We're not moved by the images. We've absorbed the horrors, and that is allowing the same people who are all connected, all of them. There's not a power institution. The CIA was involved. MI6 was involved. All of the intelligence agencies were involved. Mossad from Israel definitely involved. The IDF involved. Like every part, Russia involved. These people have a coordinated mission to dominate us at levels where they can get away with raping, eating, and dissolving our children with sulfuric acid. And we're so complacent and dependent on normalcy that we'll just go to the next news cycle.
Yep. It's not important. Like, hearing it, even in the form, because again, I've been out of the news right now. And so hearing this, even in this manner with you, playing it out, I've only really seen the Pam Bondi moments, or the Ted Lieu and the Jasmine Crockett moments, and all of those, which are great, you know what I mean? But there are details in these damn files that are gruesome, that are past what I can label. And we aren't talking about that. So now, even right now, in the moment, putting into perspective, my former classmate, schoolmate, and that's what she's talking about. What you said, y'all, this is bigger. This is literally bigger. Y'all, those files came out. My name was in it. And so what? Did y'all read them? We must be outraged.
Did you see what they did?
Did you hear? Did you see? Like, this is where we're at right now. This is no time to act like you don't see stuff. Because all of a sudden, y'all see color again. Y'all verbally are saying it. So you can, you know, I like to say these backwoods folks, and that goes for, I don't care where you from, what you look like, what color you are, all of the supporters of Donald Trump, that they ain't got no teeth in the front. Because I can't talk about the back because they done pulled mine. The ones that ain't got no teeth in the front. Y'all looking like damn Phil and Lil, okay, from the Rugrats. And you know, you know damn well your reading level is not up to par. But yet, you got this stuff where people are laying the law down. They are reading you every single thing. You're watching this thing unravel on the floor as representatives are speaking to the attorney general, who is supposed to know the law, and telling you what is happening as they challenge Pam Bondi. They are telling you what are in these files. They are checking them. They're telling all these things. And y'all toothless folks that want to ride Donald Trump's behind but can't read nothing, you guys are getting the benefit of getting somebody to break down to you what is going on, and you are still choosing MAGA and toothless.
That's because that's because I've literally seen MAGA, because I follow all of MAGA's henchmen, like all of them know me, hate me, and but I watched them go from calling and saying, we want the Epstein files, we want the Epstein files, give us the Epstein files, we demand Donald Trump is going to free the Epstein files. And once they realized Donald Trump is in the Epstein files over 1 million times, literally 6 million documents, he's in it 1 million times. All of a sudden they were like, oh no, we don't care anymore, we don't want to talk about that. Why? Because it's more, one, their personal wealth. People like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Derek Evans, Benny Johnson, all of the MAGA misinformation machine, their personal wealth is tied to protecting Donald Trump no matter what. And so there they are, indoctrinating, propagandizing their audience to not care. It doesn't matter that they spent the last 3 years talking about release the files. And then when the files are released, they're like, oh, no, we didn't mean those files. That doesn't matter. They just switched gears and say, look the other way. And I feel like at some point, somebody on their side is going to snap. Somebody on their side is going to snap first, because the hypocrisy is kind of like, it's got to be somebody. And I'm not advocating for it, obviously, but it's too much. And we really are testing to see whether or not these people have an ounce, a sliver of integrity. Did you actually care when you said that you wanted to go after the pedophiles or not? Did you actually care when you said that? Because if you didn't, then you got to look in the mirror and realize that you are okay with pedophilia. You are okay with child rape. You are okay with sex trafficking children. You're okay with cannibalizing children. You're okay with murdering children just so that some old geezer can cop a feel and bust a nut. Like, what are we doing in this world?
What are you doing in this world? Listen, people are preaching in my comment section. Prairie Fire just said, we have been, and this goes to your point, Ben, we have been told these horrors that you were mentioning in the other countries are something that happens over there and not here. We are safe here. People are traumatized seeing the empire come home to dominate us. That's literally kind of like, we're told that in Haiti, those type of things happen. There's rape, there's murder, there's this, there's that. We're told that in all these countries that this is what's happening as they infiltrate, right? And destabilize our countries. Meanwhile, over here, they are doing the very things. And they at times go over there, rent a little space in those countries and do it there. Don said, Don said, you touched on the worst part of it all, and it's that the denialism of the comfortability. Come on, sis, numb. And until they start getting some of themselves, She said, you touched on the worst part of it all, and that is the nihilism of the comfortably numb. And until they start getting some of this themselves and we hit a threshold, it's going to continue being bad. Dang, that's why I will sound like a toothless. I will sound
no, you were looking for a comma. There was a comma needed in there somewhere.
I said, man, I was sounding like Phil and Lil. And here it is. I love that everybody's pointing that out. They do have this idea, and I think we need to really stay right there for a second. As ChatGPT would tell the folks, they really want you to be dumb. They want you to be numb. They want you to not find the parallels. They expect that. They're counting on that from you. And it's so much easier to just fall in line with that, because what happens is we're going to have the Pam Bondis do what they're doing. Is anything going to come of it? It should. Maybe after Donald Trump is croaked out, Donald Trump is going to get up and get on Truth Social if he has not already. And it's not going to be about the Epstein files. It's going to be about somebody who mentioned his name, because this is what people who abuse power or who are power hungry and get mad because God didn't bless and endow them in places. And no matter how much money they got, they want to feel like they are king of everybody. Even if they are allegedly not a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, they will bend somebody over just because this is the same buck breaking. Also, this is the same thing that they've been. This is what they do in abusing their power and using it for wrong. Donald Trump is probably on his Truth Social right now, knowing that you don't give a damn. You don't want to read. You don't know how to read. You do not care about what's happening. You are comfortably numb in your MAGA, in your whiteness, in your money, in your side of the world that does not have these issues, right? Until it's Minneapolis, right? You are so okay with that. And Donald Trump is just going to get on social media and say, I don't like the way that person who died, daddy said they didn't like me. Yeah. Epstein files came out and DHS said, we gonna reply back. They're gonna use their account, reply back. I'm gonna repost and quote it. The Department of Homeland Security ain't securing none of them borders that ain't never been built. The wall got on to social media to quote, repost a video of Cardi B. And that is what the MAGA supporters will get out of their comfortable chairs, will get out of their cars, will get online and begin to talk about. Not what was in this Epstein report, and they're counting on it. Now, that is the MAGA people. The black people who don't give a damn about what's going on, who don't care because they do got to go to work and feed their kids and whatever. And that's just what white people do. No, it was names in there that wasn't only white. It was a lot of people in there. But the abuse of power definitely had everything to do, like you said, Ben, with the type of folks. They were abusing so many different type of people. So imagine if in a country they do not even like gays, allegedly. Black folks, the Black Caribbean folks, Hispanics, they don't care about them. You can bet your bottom dollar their countries were being destabilized by people that Epstein and them were funding.
Period.
By Bill Clinton and them files.
The entirety of what we're experiencing right now. See, and I'm glad you said that because black folk, if one of your influencers that you listen to is telling you to stay out of it, they're an op. Because at this point in world history, if you look at what's going on and you think that you could sit on the sideline, they are making you docile enough for them to be able to get away with anything on you. It is time for everybody to step up, stand up, and go out here and fight. It's not all this, we getting a rest, we getting a nap, we doing the nap ministry. Okay, y'all got y'all rest, but we're dealing with a global pedophile ring of people who are not only raping children, but they are destroying democracy. And they are the reason you have to work 3 jobs. They are the reason you're paying taxes to them. You're paying higher rent to these people. The reason your wages haven't gone up is because of these people. And you got somebody telling you that this isn't our fight. What?
Baby, they posting that places like it's a Bible verse, and I'm just like, oh, please, blasphemy, get it away. Because at the end of the day, I think even right now, how we're having this conversation, I haven't been on social media, and I told you the first thing I'm seeing is not about what was in those files in this capacity. It's not, because people are choosing not to learn about it. And that's why victims are saying, yeah, my name was in it, but the outrage should be what was happening to the people. That should be the outrage. Why isn't it headline news? Is it not important? Is it not gruesome? Is it not newsworthy? Is it not timely? Is it not? All of this meets a newsworthy story. And they are choosing not to make it breaking. They are choosing not to have the panels. They are choosing not have not to have the experts that actually read through each files, because they online, to be at those tables and break it down as the experts of conversation as they are having the nuanced conversations. They're choosing not to. What they are going to do is get people on or in these seats or in these conversations to say something hot and spicy about this administration and let that be it, because it will be a day where people won't give a damn about it until 20 years from now. Like I said, Netflix is going to say Epstein Island drama coming soon.
Right. And then we'll be consuming it as entertainment. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing, folks. Do you think they are not doing this currently right now? Are we looking at the sex trafficking as a thing in the past? Because I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. Like if you travel at all, and I'm serious, like if you travel at all, if you stay at hotels ever at all, I know you've seen sex trafficking. It may not be the Epstein level of sex trafficking, but it flows from the head. We if you think for a second that this is not currently going on, especially when the powerful men on the planet see that nobody's being held accountable, you think they are more afraid, or do you think that they are more emboldened? And the less reaction that we have, if we manage to stay calm, and maybe Rebecca, maybe this is the thing, maybe people don't know how to be simultaneously enraged and calm enough to function. I get it. We can't all crash out like homeboy in the airport. All right. Mm-hmm. We can't all crash out all the time, but you better have some crash out ability. You better have some crash out ability in you somewhere, and you better reserve. Because what do you do? See, this is how people run up in your house, and you don't have the mindset to snap instantly. People come and try to mess with you, and you got to think for a second. Oh, am I going to fight back? You got to be able to snap on instantly in these kind of moments, but folks are afraid of that kind of energy. I think people are afraid of whether or not they can control themselves when they are out, like genuinely outraged. I'm so tired of the fake outrage. Let me shift real quick. The fake outrage where people learn how to shout and they know how to look angry and they get in front of a camera and they do it and then they clip it and they post it and they were outraged. Nah. This is a different kind of thing. This is the kind of thing where outrage should carry you to the House, the Congress, the House of Representatives, to your state houses. This should carry some of us to Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to tell you another outrage I'm feeling is some of us need to run up on these ICE facilities, like all these ICE warehouses that they're buying up around here. I ain't telling you to go out there and do anything illegal, but you got to be mad enough to at least pull up. Mm-hmm. I ain't saying you go and try to burn it down like that white lady was trying to burn down an ICE facility with lighter fluid. It was the cutest thing I ever saw. Like you get lighter fluid.
In jail. They got her
lighter felon. Look, you come on now. We all know lighter fluid don't barely keep your barbecue grill going.
You about to go down for life.
Come on, do it for real. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it right. I ain't trying to go to jail for a barbecue. No, we're gonna burn it.
And they're gonna put your behind underneath the jail. You know this administration ain't playing, and you came with a lot of fluid.
Come on, you go out there with some. Anyway, I ain't gonna tell you what to go out there with, but what I'm saying is you gotta have some pull up ability in you. You got to be able to crash out. And I know a lot of folks are so docile. And we're always taught never to be hostile. We're always taught to be calm. We're always taught to be measured, right? I as a pastor, I can't even tweet mean tweets without people quoting scriptures to me. And I'm like, baby, I done spent more time with the Lord Jesus Christ over the last 4 years than probably most people have in their entire lifetime. So me and Jesus are good. And you know what Jesus told me to do? Flip some of these tables. Flip them. We got to turn up in this place or else it's just going to get worse.
Yeah. And again, I'm retraining myself on how I do it. And I said, it doesn't have to look like you going out into the streets, but in your house, in your family, are you flipping them tables? When you sitting amongst people who are them ICE agents as part of your family, are you flipping them tables? You know how them kids was calling out their parents a while back on social media? The Generation Z was just out there doing crazy stuff. But they was online like, here's my dad who just cheated on my mom and wants to come and tell me to go to my room. You need to be like, here is my cousin. Okay? Domingo Suarez. Yeah. He is an ICE agent in the district of... Yeah. Put him out. But
put them on blast.
That's flipping tables. If you could do it in your household, do it up the street. You might have to send an email or two at the job. You know what I'm saying? You might have to be in that meeting while they saying little things like, they're doing a lot over there in Minneapolis, and I'm so glad I'm not a part of that. Flip the damn table. Take it to HR and flip that baby. Make sure they don't show up in the next meeting because they was a let go. Flip the
tables. If you got somebody in your family that's working for ICE, we need to know about it. They should never be comfortable the rest of their life. They should be humiliated. That's the bare minimum. Listen, one thing we good at in America, especially those of us who are woke, we good at canceling people, right? All right, then at a minimum, can we get back into the cancellation season? Can we put these people on blast? I need some hackers to actually do their thing and get all the unredacted files, drop the whole thing. Some of us, and I'm not encouraging anything illegal, but I don't even care about that caveat at this point, because if you don't realize that we are actually at a state of war already, and that in these type of situations, if you're concerned about going to jail, then you're not prepared for this type of situation. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I would personally rather die than to live in a world that is controlled and curated by pedophiles. And that's what we're living in. And if people can't get that in their head, and I'm not just gonna stop at the pedophiles. I ain't rocking with this whole thing with ICE. You think I ain't see that sister who burned that thing down and I ain't feel that in my soul? Now, I ain't telling nobody to go out there and do something. I'm thinking, if I won't tell nobody to do something I ain't willing to do. But what I am telling you that you need to be willing to do is to get outside of feeling normal. That's it. That's the baseline. That's the bare minimum. If you need to wake up and feel like everything is okay, baby, you drunk. You don't even need no Cavassier. You don't even need no marijuana. You don't need no drugs. You are drunk with the idea of normalcy.
Like I said, I agree with everything you just said, Ben. And if you don't want to go outside and flip those tables, do it inside your household. There's a way that you can do it. You can comment under that MAGA person's page and put them on. Do what you need to do. Shake it up. Do not be somebody who sits idly by if you know it makes you, especially if you know if it makes you uncomfortable, especially if you know you can't sleep. Because I know I actually get this question a lot. You would think, like, why me? Why y'all can ask me? But people reach out to me a lot and ask me, how can I apply myself when this is like, I get it. I'm not somebody who for the people, sometimes they tell me, I get it. I'm not somebody who can go stand outside or you can quietly go to those local meetings, right?
That's right.
Your state and city and all, you can go and sit there and call your leader and say, hey, what are you doing? Flip.
That's right.
The table. I remember leading an event for Haitians, and this is when TPS the first time, maybe 2020, was being affected, and they were saying all this stuff about Haitians. I was sitting in the room, and I was only supposed to be there to speak. There was a leader. I said, now, lady, it was about 4 of them. They were going for the same position, mayor. And I said, no. Do you know anything about the Haitians in this city and what's going on currently? She was like, now, how old are you? This is how she sounded. And I said, does that matter? I'm asking about, do you know, because you're saying you want to really apply yourself in this city. Do you know about the Haitians in this city and what's going on as you're here at this Haitian restaurant speaking to immigrants about a recent immigrant issue? What do you know and how are you going to handle it when it comes to the majority Haitian immigrants who live in this city? What are you going to do about it? Oh, she was like, see, that's why I don't answer people's questions. She started looking around the room because you're coming with assumption. And when you come with assumption, you can't get an answer from me. And she tried to move on. And I said, hey, I'm actually a journalist and I'm actually hosting this event. You wasn't here early enough for us. So, like I said, if you don't want to answer the question, that's okay. I'll take that as no comment. You have no plan. You have no understanding about how majority of the immigrants who are Haitian in your proposed jurisdiction, your area, you have no idea what they're going through. And it's not something that's at the top of your list to handle. You flipping tables, baby. I was in there flipping them, flopping them, moving them. They was Legos. I was creating stuff, baby. Play-Doh. Stop playing with me.
Look, and if you want to know what's something legal you could do, because I know I've been talking about that lady at the burning down the ice. Well, so cute, try to set an ice facility on fire with lighter fluid, but you don't have to go there. What you
don't literally
can do, don't go there. I guess that's the right language, but you don't don't go there. Go to your city council meeting and turn up. Go to your school board meeting and turn up. Go anywhere there is leadership that one is voted in and two being paid by the taxpayer dollar. Go there and let it all out, like this sister does in this video. I want y'all to take a look at this, because she was like, they try to cut her off. I don't know if you've ever gone to speak at a city council meeting, but the way it works is you go there, you get there early, and you sign a card, and however many citizens in every city I've ever spoken in, however many citizens sign up to speak, the city is required to let them speak. Well, this guy decided that he was going to cut off the speaking because I guess he was tired of hearing about ICE. And this black woman went in there and said, "Not today, Satan. You don't know who I am." Listen.
Concludes the.
No. Everyone here today is here due to what's going on in Alhambra.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No. Everything else can wait.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everything else can wait. We are here regarding ICE. Everything else, it can be out of order. You must not know who I am. It can be out of order. You need to continue public comment. Your city council meeting can take up to 2 hours. We are here concerned about ICE, and we want public comment regarding ICE to continue. So change your agenda for the evening and move public comment now.
Now. I'm sorry.
Now.
We have high school students here to speak on one of the items. I'm not going to ask them to stay here until midnight.
Who's here to speak?
We have high school students that are here to speak on an item, and I'm not going to let them stay until midnight to speak on another item.
I think these high school students understand that their lives are in danger right now, and they can be murdered in the street by ICE. So I think those high school students are going to wait too.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to take a
5-minute break if that's what you need. But I want public comment to continue.
This is not how this is going to go.
That is how it's going to go. It's how it's going to go today. I don't care what any other city council meeting is like.
We'll be back.
Recess for 5 minutes.
Baby,
flip some tables.
You better act like it is a cooked steak that you trying to cut, baby. We shaking them and then we flipping them. That's how you do it. I love that. That's actually not the only. There was another woman that I seen that, and that's what I was asking. Is this Florida? Because there was another woman that I see that also did something similar, called out the man in the middle of one of these city council meetings, and said that you will not bully me as you've been doing in the streets. Oh, she set it on fire. Okay, she set it on fire, and so you gotta go to these meetings. Like, don't bully me because I'm over here fighting for people's rights. Don't come to don't do none of that. That's what you do. She said, you're not going to, she said, I'm claiming my time. I ain't reclaiming, I'm claiming the time. We're going to speak and we're going to talk about it because y'all trying to kill us out in the streets. Y'all over here setting up house in our communities. Y'all not giving us any type of awareness. Y'all not making us feel safe. And that's exactly what we have you in office for. How do you plan on dealing with this?
Everybody lives in a city. Everybody lives in a city. Everybody underneath the sound of our voices lives in a city. There's a city council in your city.
Yeah.
Again, there's levels and there's tiers to this. Not everybody is going to be on the front line. Not everybody needs to be. That would be just straight chaos. Not everybody is going to be a tactical activist. Let's just call it. Everybody's not going to be a kinetic activist. And not everybody needs to be, because that's kind of what Donald Trump wants. They want violence. But everybody listening to me right now, and us, Rebecca, right now, they live in a city with a city council that allows public comment. And you can go down there Monday.
Yep.
This Monday. You can go down there this Tuesday, whatever day it is. Go down there, especially if there's an ICE facility that's being built in your city.
Yeah.
If it's being built in your county, go down to the council meeting, the county council meeting, sign up for public comment and let them have it. So if you ask, like, what can anybody do? Y'all, if you want to flip a table, the first place to flip a table is your city and your county council meetings.
Yes. And that's exactly what I've been telling the people who have been reaching out to me. And that is what you need to do. If you go locally, you can go to, I've watched this lady who was running for mayor in the city I live in, predominantly white. The person that was her opposition, which was Republican, she was, I want to say independent, but the person that was her opposition kept going to where she was writing her campaign slogans or all this other stuff and erasing it because he was friends with another higher up in the city that was made it illegal for her to write, even though it was legal for her to write in that area or something like that. So I went on Instagram to follow her story. I won't tell y'all who it is. So I don't want y'all to know where I live, but she had peers, even though she didn't win. And she had a very small, it was like, girl, you need more people, right? But she had peers that went out and shook up the city. Anything that you saw that happened with ICE or whatever, and I live in a city that is growing more progressive, but it's historically predominantly white, historically MAGA, before MAGA, what we called conservative, what we call just the Reds. Yeah, that's what that is. And so if you go to the downtown, many a time when any of these issues are going on, you will not see it locally in the area, but you go to the downtown, those people with that lady be down there holding up signs, stopping traffic. Like they're like, listen, you ain't choose me, but I don't care. I'm about to be out here for every issue that can affect the people who live here. Even if it's 5 immigrants, it's a problem. What is going on, what ICE is doing. They were doing the No Kings rally and they filled up that little downtown. They filled it up. And I said, all right, flip it. It's red, but flip it. Flip it.
Let me show you one more, Rebecca. This is to my white allies. This is the energy we need from y'all.
Become a white nationalist from him? Is that what you're teaching him? He's Antifa. It's interesting to call me Antifa because you're wearing a mask and I'm not, right? So you're the one who's like hiding behind a mask. Pull down, dude. Oh, is it because your job wouldn't want you here? That's probably right. Do you guys want to join this? Does this look like a bunch of winners to you?
Domestic terrorist organization.
I'm not in a domestic terrorist organization. You're the one who wants to like rid the earth of people who don't look like you, you know?
Wait, what do you believe that he believes?
I believe he believes in white supremacy.
I don't believe that.
What do you believe then? Yeah, you believe that like America is for Americans, right? That's like the base of your thing. And what and who gets to decide who's American? The white men, right? The American people who like, so if like my parent was an immigrant, like last generation, I came here, I became one, say, like from a different country, would that make me American or un-American?
Depends where they came from.
Depends where they came from. Oh yeah, so like Europe, that would be okay, but not Africa. Yeah, so that's the white, that's white supremacy right there. That's all you need to know. Thank you. I hope you don't join this. This is literally the scourge. That this does represent like the end of the country if people go this way. So just especially like I couldn't imagine like you're not going to see a lot of diversity over there. Yeah. It's like you're proud to be a white person. That's pathetic, honestly.
Why do you hate your heritage?
I don't hate my heritage. I don't hate white people. I just love everybody else.
I love everybody else.
No, you don't. Imagine being passionate about anything besides your race. It's so pathetic. What do? Read Hitler?
I'm a devout Catholic.
You're a devout Catholic? Do you know the Catholic Church exists in almost every country in the world, not just Europe and America, especially in Latin America? The point is the church is more accepting than you are. You idiot.
Period. Listen, flip them. Flip it.
Wherever you got to go.
And disrupt. Disruption is flipping. Okay? See, you got another one, Ben?
Oh, I've been collecting them.
Attack?
I got them. Listen, this is at a high school protest against ICE, and the guy who's filming is carrying a "I love ICE" sign. So he's just trying to troll them. He messed around and found out. Look, watch. Disrupt. Flip some tables, y'all. Flip some tables.
Law enforcement. I support ICE.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't know what's crazy about this.
Yeah, I'm going to punch you.
You're gonna punch me?
Yes.
And you're gonna get in trouble for that.
Okay.
Whoa. Chill out, bro. I stand for my beliefs. I'm gonna peacefully stand here.
Big man, this guy right here, this man right here got like over 100 million views yesterday because he said, "You support ICE?"
Yes.
Oh yeah. And he's listen. I ain't encouraged by it. He got suspended. So you go. Sometimes you flip some tables. You go.
Look how security didn't even really try to stop him. Security said, "Stop! Don't do it. Stop calling someone. Don't do it." Mind you, security, if I'm not mistaken, clearly is an immigrant adjacent, and was like, "Yes, just don't do it. Let's stop." Girl, she won't stop for nothing. Stop. Okay, but baby, see, when you pull back like this, when you pulling back like this, it's coming in. It's coming in. Okay, and look, my baby was red because it took up he said, "Listen, it's coming up out here. It's coming from inside. It's coming from inside." When a white person getting red, they either embarrassed or really pissed off. And baby,
it's about to go down.
He was pissed. So.
And listen, and again, people like, that wasn't a tough. I don't care how hard he hit that man. The fact of the matter is he had enough nerve to say, "You gonna come out here and say you love ICE as ICE is doing this to human beings? I'm gonna punch you in the face." And I ain't encouraging violence because if you're a black person, you do that, you go to jail, right? He using his white privilege in this moment. So God bless him.
Use your white privilege to flip these tables. Baby got up on here. He's tired of being in school anyway. He tired. He just going to go.
He said, "I won't be suspended."
I said, "I'm tired. I just suspend me.
Send me home."
And then he politely told you, baby, he gave you, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm gonna punch you in the face, baby, because black folks be like, boom, baby. He said, I'm giving you an opportunity to know that I'm gonna punch you in the face respectfully because you support ICE. And then, like I said, security was like, "Stop him. Just
no, please don't stop.
Stop it. It's fine." Yeah. Because she was like, basically was like, if he were to run back out, I ain't stopping him. Stop, don't go. Yeah, because clearly you want to troll, you want to play around, you want to go viral, beloved. I'll give you a reason to go viral, and then you can post this video because you want to be the next what's the little boy that came out and shot people and they helped him.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
I'll be forgetting their names. Kyle Rittenhouse. You want to be the next Kyle Rittenhouse. You want to be the next like Tommy Lahren. You want to be whatever that girl's name that was on social media that probably the whites found out that she's like 1% black or something. Yeah, you want to be one of those people. Yeah, go ahead and try your best. But especially when it comes to ICE right now, ICE is killing white folks.
Yeah.
It's a different type of situation over here. White folks is getting involved in the conversation. So, white folks want to flip the table, bust some heads.
Look,
politely, respectfully.
Go. Listen, but here's the thing. But what the previous video showed, this video right here, is like you don't even have to get violent, right? I recommend, as a black man who understands what happens when black people get angry, and we show just a little bit of like, if I raise my fist, they gonna shoot me. Black person raise their fist, we get shot, right? Mm-hmm. So as a black man who understands that principle, I ain't encouraging anybody to enact any violence, right? But it doesn't take that. It just takes having enough nerve to stand up and say something. And you might quiver, your voice might tremble, your knees might quiver, but my God, you're gonna feel like a Giga Chad afterwards. You're gonna feel like a champion afterwards, because you would have done your one little part. I mean, there's 350 million Americans, and half of us ain't insane. The other half might be, but if each of us do our own little part, just that little micro transaction, that you're saying something to your family members. And like I think you already said this, Rebecca, some of us can flip our tables right within our family. You ain't got to burn nothing down. You ain't got to go and riot. You don't even got to go to a protest for per se. Just flip the tables in your family group thread and text. Do that.
Oh yeah. But like get in there and be like, yeah, mom, the way that you said ICE is going to protect us, here's who it's protecting. And post a picture of Renee.
Yeah.
Get in there, shake it up. And say, you know what, mom? I'm not coming home for whatever. I'm not coming home for whatever holiday. I'm not coming home for Easter because I don't want to be around a person. And then list off with put screenshots of your mama text messages.
Yes.
Shut it down. I'm usually never pro that, but in this lifetime, baby, it's time to get a little like flip the tables. Flip the tables. Yeah, it's 3:00.
We've been here for a minute.
We've been on here for a minute. I know I came late, but we've been on here for a second. I ain't got no plans. Like I said, I'm single for Valentine's Day. So
Rebecca, where's your Cash App? Put your Cash App up.
Yes, it's Becca's voice. It's Cash App's Becca's voice. It's
put it in the comment section. Put in the comment section so I can put it on the screen.
And I just feel like here we go right here. I just feel like, I love y'all. You love me. Support these microphones so we can keep them on. I was about to give you a Barney thing, but it didn't go that way. But support us so we can be a big, happy family because we have these conversations. And thank you, Ben, for even bringing it up. Some of what was in those files. That's very important conversation. But again, who else is really having these type of conversations this morning or after today? I know it's Valentine's Day. I know all of those things, but who else is really getting to the nitty gritty? Also, please pay attention on how to get involved, how you can make a difference. Flip the tables. Go back to, if you're just tuning in, go back to the last 30 minutes of how me and Ben were just discussing on how you can flip the tables if you're not somebody who wants to go outside, if you're not somebody who feels like they want to take it to their job. You could do it in your household. There's different ways. You can go sit in the city council meetings. You can join city council. You could do whatever. There is options. There's a way. There's something. And right now is a very, very pivotal time for us to lock in. It's a very, very pivotal time for us to lock in. And every day, like right now, I bear the weight of not being able to do this as much as I want to because I have this job, but also they already warned me because of my work. I got to be really, really careful. So I'm choosing to flip the tables over here by continuing the work, although I know I need the income. You know what I mean? So I think that in these particular moments, choose what clique you claim. like that's you got to choose.
What set you rep?
That is what clique you claim, and be mindful on the side that you choose. So I can, so that you because whatever side you choose, just think about that white boy. I'm just gonna have to punch you. I'm just gonna have to punch you.
I was like, I didn't know which white boy you were talking about. You talking about not this one, not the peaceful one. You talking about my man right here.
Yep. And so that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get.
You want to read these? Yeah, I was gonna say, let's read these super chats.
Oh yeah. Well, me Cash Apps because those could be really well. Becca looks gorgeous. Thank you. Ben, will we ever see you in the flesh again? You guys will. Right now, he just look me telling you.
I don't know. I'm thinking I might transform myself into a cartoon. Y'all see me as a cartoon. Go ahead, Rebecca. Read the next one.
You might have to. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, Prairie. Now, have y'all ever seen Prairie? I know I shouldn't be doing this, but Kowalski is fine. That's a fine white man. I don't know if y'all ever seen Kowalski. Kowalski fine. He on Thursdays. Sometimes we have the call-in show, and he'll come on there. The other day that we had it, he had like a little muscle shirt on. I'm talking about stretched. How Arnold Schwarzenegger be like that. But he's the guy that works out in I want to say as a farm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but works out in the fields and he has a YouTube as well. And he supports us. So shouts out to you. But happy Valentine's Day. This is for a small box of heart-shaped chocolates or flowers because I'm a gentleman and you are. I respect it. Thank you so much for that. Candy for the pretty light for me. Thank you, Eco Socialist. Again, Prairie said that you can serve Christ or ICE, but not both.
You preaching?
What
now.
a word! That's the word. It was right here in my channel. So Life gifted 5. Rebecca Azor. Thank you so much. Again, I'm working on the memberships. I have, like I said, I have some content. We're working on it. Give me some time. We're working on the membership content. Unity should not always equal conformity. Thank you so much, Mark. Miss Miss Valex. V Alex. Thank you so much for your super chat. Prairie, once again, without justice, the public will choose violence every single time, as we should. Go 100% John Brown.
Because maybe go 50% John Brown. We gonna say you got to save that last 50% for when they show us we ain't got no choice but to go 100%.
100%. You're right. But like I said, it's a different time right now. People try to keep their jobs.
I understand. I ain't worried about keeping no job. What I'm worried about is the fact that
Blue Knight 6944. Thank you so much for your super chat as well. Let me go ahead and hit. We got any more? I'm gonna talk about the cash.
No, that's it.
Period. Fine 50%.
No, he said not 100% John Brown. No, it just reserve that last 50% for when they show you ain't got no choice, and then it's all it's all hands on deck at that point.
Prairie is fast. I'm talking about, like, you just said that, and he already commented. I just really appreciate people who I had a lot of viewers in my chat today. Am I growing like that? Anyways, I'm trying to get to 12,000 and I'm at 11,154. Get them numbers up for me, please. Like, share, and subscribe. But before we get out of here, I have some cash apps and somebody donated to my link on PayPal. So Malcolm, thank you so much for your love gift, your love offering. Thank you so much, Michael, for your love offering as well. Malcolm said, peace and blessings upon you. Thank you. I receive it. Michael said, for self-love Valentine's Day, keep spitting. I am. I'm gonna try. Thank you. Captain Black Sparrow, thank you so much for your super chat for your cash app. And you said your voice matters. I appreciate it. Love you, mean it. And Esco. I was saying y'all names. I'm so sorry. But have a good Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for yours as well. And let's go ahead into the pay, because y'all over here in the PayPal too. I appreciate it because it comes directly to me, which is great. I don't have to wait the month. Oh, it's you again, Kowalski. He said, I'm gonna send it everywhere for your Valentine's Day. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Again, keep the microphones on. How? By liking, sharing, and subscribing. And if you want to, if you can, that also helps contributing to keep the lights on, to keep the microphone on. Becca's Voice on Cash App. Right now in my chat, you have the donation if you want to go to PayPal. That is RebeccaAzor@gmail.com. That you can go ahead and give that way through PayPal as well. Y'all, I appreciate you. I love you. Mean it. That's really all I got. And for the last thing, please remember, I know today can suck for a lot of people who do not have a romantic partnership. But do not forget, love is all around you in some way, shape, or form. And if you haven't heard it today, I'm telling you right now, I love you. I love you. I love your smile. I love how you support me and love on me. I love how you get up in the morning and say, I'm going to try this again. I love how you take care of your hair, take care of your animals. I love how you take care of your plants. I love how you make sure that you go and work out every day. I love how you love on your mother. I love how you get in the kitchen and make sure that you got a meal. I love how you love on your children. I love you, and I mean that. And if the love that I'm giving you doesn't matter, remember, you got to love you too. And you deserve that. Just like the man that passed away from Dawson's Creek. He said that, and that was a message. Make sure that you know you deserve love no matter what. Don't let somebody's beady head daughter, beady head son that is missing faux teeth, that ain't got no hairline, make you feel less than. You're beautiful and you're loved. Mwah! I love you. Mean it. Go and be free. The work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azure. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azure. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not. Rebecca Azure is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin.